1.5 hit me hard yesterday. Just saying. Boy was down bad. Mic's on? Mic's on?
Yo.
This mic was definitely not on.
Yo. All right, let's do it, Rem.
Hold on. When we're done, you got to play them the outtakes.
Oh, my God.
Dude.
So fucking funny.
We were sitting here yesterday listening to my outtakes of the fucking...
Yeah, he played it for me.
Oh, my God.
It does might be going on the gram.
We might make that shit its own episode of just me fucking up for 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, all the
Terrence,
outtakes that you...
Yeah, and dude, Terrence, you laughing is
Probably
fucking,
funnier than him fucking
dude,
up.
it's so amazing because I'm like, it's a caffeinated, you're just here. Ah!
All right, let's go.
What's up? You're rolling with another episode of Jits and Tits.
Damn!
The Jits and Tits podcast is brought to you by Brandon Remy of Remy Fit, the premier online training outlet for combat sports athletes, focusing on the 4 pillars of performance: movement, mindset, sleep, and nutrition. Check Brandon out at RemyFit.com and be RemyFit on Instagram. We're also brought to you by Island Kava, Long Island's first and only kava bar, serving exotic teas and relaxing elixirs that will help you recover and wind down from an intense training session, located right in the heart of Patchogue. We're also brought to you by Total Motion 360, a brand new at-home fitness product coming soon to the marketplace. This innovative fitness product combines functional training with traditional training, taking it to levels never seen before. Total Motion 360 takes concepts from landmine training and mixes in movements from yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi, creating fun, total body workouts that promote balance, strength, and form. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Total Motion 360 and visit their website, totalmotion360.com. Jits and Tits podcast is also brought to you by Lalo, a carbonated kava drink inspired by the culture of the south coast of the Fiji Islands, where locals have been cultivating and enjoying kava for generations. Inspired by the island lifestyle, Lalo looks to counterbalance the caffeinated, work hard, play hard culture of our time. Their ingredients are sourced straight from the South Pacific. You can find Lalo at Island Kava, one of our other sponsors, Long Island's major distributor of this relaxing, island-inspired drink.
Oh, hello.
I thought hurricane season was over.
Damn, dude. We out
Yo,
here.
wait. Good morning, everybody, but Terrence. Fuck Terrence.
Oh, man.
Dude, fuck you guys. What? This is exactly what I said the storm was going to be. You just
No,
had
no,
to.
no,
I have.
no.
I'm like, how many episodes, Brandon, do we got now?
I don't think he's saying fuck you
I'm
about
not,
that.
I'm not saying about that. I'm just everyone with Terrence. Good morning.
Yeah,
I think he's talking about yesterday, dude.
Yeah.
I know exactly what he's talking about, but I'm
I was
returning
talking
the
shit to him the whole.
Yeah,
time
he's
we
like,
were
I hope the
recording
hurricane touches down this afternoon. Like he was
Yeah.
chirping at me, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Like the whole time you guys were recording.
Wait. I gotta say though, hold on, because Terrence and I didn't want to bring this up yesterday. Wait. Let me go back to.
Oh, he's pulling out the phone.
Oh, we could pull out the phone. We go bar for bar right now.
Damn.
No, that's fine. I mean, you could say I don't care. You can say everything I said. I'm proud of what I said. But you go. To be honest, I didn't want any of you guys there, but Taylor wanted the girls to come and
Damn.
it would have been weird if we didn't invite the fellas. So I just want to throw that out there right now.
Damn.
So I didn't want to bring that up yesterday. I wanted you to be
Wait,
here
wait,
when I told them about this.
People don't know what you're talking about. What are you referring
So
to?
Terrence went and got married yesterday,
Went and got married.
and
Just out of nowhere.
he invited everybody but me. So
he didn't invite a lot of people.
To be
dude.
fair, I don't think Terrence actually ever invited me. I found out
to the
through-
girls.
Yeah, through Alexa. So I think
Yeah.
it's fine. I just wanted the opportunity to say no.
if
I
Taylor,
wasn't gonna go. I just wanted to say no. I can't be there.
if Taylor wasn't close with Alexa, I don't think I would have been there. So
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
because
second that one. I'm
because
gonna
he
second
didn't
that
want any of us there.
Yo, and I'm
But-
gonna be honest with you. The boys were outnumbered yesterday. I mean, Terrence had some of his other friends there, dude. A whole bunch.
yeah, we were down
Not
bad.
dancing.
We were no. We
Not
were
killing
definitely,
the dance floor like us.
dude. We were definitely outnumbered. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah,
Brad was there in the penny loafers. Mark was there in the dress shoes. Chad was there, dude.
yeah, Brad,
There-
Chad,
Yo,
Skyler.
not one of those names was in attendance last night.
Dude, I think I heard some Brads. I think I heard some Chads.
No
Brad, Chad,
way.
Skyler.
Skyler.
Yeah,
Dude, it was funny because my friends were kind of like, "Oh, this is the last." Like they like got me together, and they were like, "Yeah, this is the last time we're ever gonna see Terry." And I was like, "Dude, don't fucking say that."
Damn, that's called guilt, bro.
I've been fucking MIA.
That's called guilt.
I've been building this brand.
Yes.
Yeah, you weren't here yesterday.
Yeah, I know
was-
because you record on a Saturday, which we just don't do. And like you guys
It
are
was-
worried about
Dude,
this
it was an
pussy-ass-
emergency
Look
session.
at that. It's
Yo,
barely
emergency.
it's barely even blowing like the rainbow flag over there.
Yo, I can't wait for a car to
Listen,
be
All
pushed
right,
down
now
the
it's kind of
block.
moving, but whatever.
I can't
just
wait
saying
for a
it-
car to be pushed down the block by like some heavy wind.
I'm just saying.
I go
if-
outside, my truck's on the roof. Like,
If any of you
guys?
guys but Terrence lose power, you always have my house to come to.
I just got to
Oh
say
my
something
Lord.
though. In the run up to this wedding, you know, Alexa's a planner. She's very like, what's this? What's that? What are we doing? What do you want? I'm like, yo, I don't know shit. I was like, I don't know anything. I'm like, the only reason why I know I'm going is because you told me.
Yeah.
She's like, well, Terrence didn't tell you what to wear. And I was like, Terrence hasn't said a fucking word to me about
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, Terrence didn't even tell me he was getting
Yo,
married.
some people asked me, and I said, like, listen, I gotta wear a suit, but dudes could just wear like, I don't know, tan pants and like a button down or whatever. And I'm like, Nick, just wear a shirt with buttons. He's like, I don't own a shirt with buttons. I'm like, what?
Yo, I had to go out and buy one, bro. No lie.
Yeah, you look spiffy.
Yo,
the
I have-
mustaches were a nice touch.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we tried so hard to get you to see us.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, and that was a terrible. You saw it and you're just like blew right over it. Didn't
Yeah.
even like acknowledge.
Yo,
it.
homeboy was nervous.
Yeah, what was I supposed to do?
Laugh.
His butthole was sweating, bro. I don't blame him. Like, he saw it. He was like, no doubt, but his butt was sweating.
I was thinking maybe
was-
laugh or something.
He was
or-
nervous.
It was a long day. It was weird, like having your picture taken like that. Like I'm not big on being like center of attention, and we had to do some
Yeah.
corny shit. Like, all right, now do this, now that. And I'm like, this is fucking horrible.
And especially because you were probably like, yo, didn't we do this already?
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be like 4,000 pics in like the same pose. So hopefully
Yeah.
the pose was gas and they knew their shit.
I mean, I don't know, man. Your photographer was wearing like 2 masks.
Yeah, bro, they're all wearing 2 masks. What's with that?
Lack of oxygen to the brain. they
I
might have
felt
been
bad
thinking.
because they were like the nicest people in the world, but I like went to shoot like a text message to the group and be like, I'm like, yo, both these people are vaccinated with double masks on right now at my house. Like, this is crazy. But they
Outside, no less.
well, they did that at the party. They actually took their masks off when we went to the Arboretum, which I'd never been to. It's like down the bottom from me in Oakdale. It's like
It's dope.
It's fucking nice. So we went there. It started drizzling a little bit, which I guess the place kind of cleared out, which was nice. It's kind of wild. They charge you to take pictures there, but like you could be there walking around. You guys could all be there, like fucking like photobombing every one of my pictures.
Yeah, that is
I'm
true.
like, what am I paying for here?
Well, you
I
paying
wish,
for-
I
you
wish you
paying-
would have told us that information before.
Yeah, you definitely would have
I
fucking
would have been there.
photobombed it.
He would
I
have been
gotta say,
streaking.
though-
He would have been streaking. Luigi would have been running around naked, bro.
Yeah.
The kid looked sharp yesterday, though. The tie
Thank
you
you.
had on was
Oh.
fire.
Damn it,
Well,
mate.
Nick looked like a fucking
look like a
70s cop
from Florida, bro.
in the mustache picture.
That mustache pic was dope.
Oh,
the
what was
Reno
that
911.
Yeah.
No,
it-
what was that one? That one show with the 2 cops down in Miami or whatever.
Reno 911.
yeah.
No, Reno 911 was
Vegas.
fucking Vegas.
Look at that mustache, bro.
Dude, I looked
He
official.
looks like such a cop.
Look
Yeah,
at
like
that
Miami Vice type shit.
Yeah, that's what I felt like, dude. That stash just brought out the cop in me.
It was
bro.
great. It was great.
When I used to rock a stash, I had like the blonde stash going. A lot of guys said I looked like a cop.
Definitely looked like a
Copper.
cop.
I should have been a cop, man. Would have been a good one. Beating,
yo,
beating up perps and shit.
I'm not-
Too late.
Running pockets.
I'm not upset that we did an emergency session yesterday. I thought
It was
yesterday's
fire.
podcast was dope. And
Best one we ever recorded.
Yo, what number? You don't even know. It'll be like around 30, right? I'll just give you everyone a heads up not to listen to that one when it drops. I'll let you know. That'll be named the episode without Terry.
Yeah, that'd be a
I think
great
it was
title.
like 33.
Yeah,
I
we're
wanna
getting
say.
we're getting up there, bro.
Yeah, I think this is 34, 35, something like that.
So we're gonna have our 50th anniversary.
Yeah, we have like 3 or 4 on the back burner, so it was absolutely necessary just to stockpile another episode yesterday in case we couldn't record today. Like, I don't know what the hell would have happened.
Oh man.
Nah, I'm glad you guys fucking recorded yesterday, I guess. I almost called in. I wanted to stop by. I'm like, fuck, I really want to shake her. Maybe I'll swing by. And, like, the timeline just wasn't working. I'm like, these people are definitely going to show up early. They were supposed to show up at 11:10. And I'm like, I got to be prepared. And I wasn't prepared. And they showed up at, like, 10:40. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm texting Taylor. I'm like, yo, what should I do? I'm just going to act like I don't fucking hear him. I'm just going to sit because I hadn't even showered yet. So I let them in. We were talking a little bit. They just wanted to take little pictures of, like, the rings and, like, some other, like, you know, the invitation, save the dates, shit like that. And then
do you mean the invitations that we never saw?
Alexa definitely got an invitation, dude.
Yeah, I
Did
think
you?
I think Lisa did too.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The
I
boys
didn't
were.
get one.
Yo, the boys
Did they
were
take
left in the
pictures of
dark.
you in the shower?
No, but I was like, oh man, how am I gonna get this going? And my one dog, obviously, we had to like
Muzzle.
quarantine him. Yeah, he had the muzzle on. I had him upstairs. Initially, I just had him behind the door, and he could like open doors, so he's like beating on the door like fucking Cujo. I'm like, all right, so I had to like barricade him up upstairs, but luckily he was able to be good for some pictures without the muzzle on.
Oh, wow.
So that was crazy. So
Awesome.
hopefully those will be cool. We took pictures with the bird. Fucking ridiculous. That was Taylor's
Awesome.
idea.
Did you get a picture like your morning shit?
Nah.
The morning routine.
They weren't there that early.
The morning routine's always a power move, dude.
I have probably for the last 8 or 9 months a picture of my morning shit.
Really?
Well, because
yeah, well, you and Mac is like,
no, it's
love
not for
taking-
Macus. It's for Reverend Retard, Crazy Anthony. I send him a picture of
Dude,
my
Reverend
shit
Retard?
every morning.
Let's get him on the podcast.
No.
yeah, I'm gonna second that, Luigi. Fuck that.
Oh, down.
Down bad. Down bad.
All right, so
Yeah, so we got a guest on today. Got Rick.
Finally got him in, Mr. Rick Schaefer.
Yes.
yeah, give him a mic.
Slide that over to the boy.
Yeah, Luigi, you got to share that mic.
Rick Schaefer is a pro kickboxer.
Professional kickboxing champion,
Ooh.
son.
He is a gym owner over at No Limit Kickboxing.
With an S.
I'm
no
sorry,
limits.
Rick. I'm
There's
sorry.
Multiple limits that there is none of.
Rick, it might be easier for you just to hold that thing so you don't got to lean in.
Yeah, you got to talk almost like directly into it.
Rick has
You
been a
basically have
friend.
to deep throat it.
Rick, you can come a little closer, like we've met each other before.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me figure this out.
Yeah, that's all right. Take your time, bro. Take your time.
Rick's
Also a friend of ours over here.
I mean, I'm a friend of you guys. I guess I'm not a friend of Darren's either because I didn't get invited.
Oh, damn.
It's going down.
Damn.
We've been trying to get Rick on for a little bit now. We finally made it happen. Couldn't get him here on a day that there's not a hurricane, but
Yeah, 9:30 in the morning on Sundays is tough for me. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm here.
So Rick, give a little background to those that don't know you. We all know you pretty well, but give the background. Rick's a staple in the Long Island, New York State fight scene. He's got a prominent gym that's very competitive on the island that you built from the ground up over the last 4 years, and it's got a pretty good name now. But start with yourself, and then we'll get into the gym and stuff.
All right. 30 years old. Favorite color is green. I like long walks on the beach. I don't know where to start.
How did you get into martial arts? Because I feel like we talked about your story before. I mean, specifically the gym. How you got the motivation to open the gym. How did you get into martial arts? Is it something that you did when you were a kid? Did your parents get you into it, or?
Yeah. So I started when I was like 5 years old doing Taekwondo.
Wait, hold on. You got to tell the funny part about that. It's actually pretty funny the way Rick started Taekwondo. He started doing Taekwondo with a mutual friend of mine,
Oh wow.
and like I must have known Rick back then, but not known that I knew Rick. Because go ahead, Rick.
So I guess we should be asking D-Rock these questions.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, Tony's.
Well, no, because Rick
No,
just
I'm
said I don't know where to start, so I'm helping him. I'm helping him.
joking.
Yeah, I'll just go fuck myself.
Yo, real
like
quick.
me yesterday. I'm watching all you guys having fun at the wedding. Same thing. Just go fuck myself.
Oh man, Terrence, you are not living this down, buddy.
Yeah, Terrence, you got
Terrence is
a
down
lot of
bad.
making up to do.
I mean, I thought it was me. I was like, oh, all right, I haven't been coming to Kava that much. I've been pretty busy, but he's on the podcast with you. You didn't invite him in. Jesus Christ.
Rick's like, I felt bad, but then I heard about you. I just want to say I feel like a gigantic pussy right now. I never realized how deep Rick's voice is. I sound like a little bitch over here.
it is fucking deep.
It doesn't click. Like if I listen to this, I'm not gonna recognize my own voice. It's weird.
No, anytime that you hear yourself like
Yeah,
on a
you-
playback, it sounds
You
weird.
never hear it, like
You never hear
even
your real
hearing
voice.
myself on the microphone. I feel like
Yeah, it
on the
sounds like a
headphones. I
different person,
feel
yeah.
different.
All right, so how did you get into martial arts?
With D-Rock's friend.
Yeah. Sorry, at 5 years old, started like baseball and Taekwondo. I guess when I was younger. As far as like inspiration, I was a little kid. You could say like Bruce Lee, Ninja Turtles, shit like that. Like I wanted to grow up and be like one of these people you see in the cartoons and the action hero movies. It's working out so far. Everybody does
fuck
really
yeah.
look like an action figure every time I fight. So
You look like a fucking
I'm
GI
on the
Joe.
right track.
Yeah, the fights are dope.
Yeah, so I started Taekwondo when I was 5. Did that at mutual friend of ours, Tony Arasano. His dad had a like Kempo Taekwondo school in Medford, like Patchogue area. Moved away. I took a break for a little while. I would say when I was like 13, 14, just because like a lack of a place to train, I guess. And then once I got to Middle Island, where I live now, there was a Taekwondo school that just opened up. Guy literally came here like straight off the boat from Korea. He used to be a military martial arts instructor in the Korean Army. And this guy was, he was pretty legit. He was like 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo, 5th degree black belt in Hapkido, and 6th degree black belt in Judo.
A black belt in Taekwondo, how many years is that? Like they usually say, like roughly for like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's like 10 years you could get your black belt. Is it any different?
Taekwondo is a big. There's always a real big asterisk on a Taekwondo black belt. I guess it like Jiu-Jitsu is like solid. You could always trace where someone's lineage come from. So it's like, all right, oh, you're a black belt. Who do you train under? And you could trace that tree. It's like a tree. Like everybody everywhere can always figure it out. With Taekwondo, it's like you could. Like if someone learned from the guy I learned from, it would be great. Yeah, like you're gonna be legit because this is like real Taekwondo. Or you could be like one of the thousands kids in schools and like club sports that they have a Taekwondo black belt, but they've never been punched in the face before. Like, they have no idea like how to react. It's just I don't know. It could be that falls into like the karate where they just want to take your money and teach your kids discipline and. I don't know, it's more about
because it got McDojo'd over the years, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, like I know from what I knew over from the background of how,
watered down, I would say.
Yeah, how
watered down.
Taekwondo got real popular during the Korean War. Apparently, there's a lot of people over there learning Taekwondo. They brought it back to America. It got very popular because of martial arts movies and PKF kickboxing at the time. I guess it just started, and a lot of people wanted to learn that shit. And then it blew up and kind of became a business. And through the process of the business, hard training doesn't really work out well for business. So it kind of got a little watered down over the years. And that's why it's been a little McDojo-ish or loss of lineage and things like that. And there's people talking about that now with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that it's kind of coming that way. But
yeah, I guess it really depends on, like you said, like where you're training. So I don't know. If someone tells me they have a secondary black belt, or I do, I have a secondary black belt in Taekwondo. But if someone tells me that they did that for a long time, it's like you could be good, you could have good kicks, you could know what you're doing, or you could just have paid money for belts and pat on the back, basically.
Is there a way to like figure that out? So like if you come in with a fake black belt in jiu-jitsu, you step on the mat within 2 minutes, not even within like as soon as you grab the guy, all right, he's not a black belt. He just bought this off eBay or something like that. Like, is there a way with Taekwondo to kind of figure that out?
It's like you said, like the same way someone would have to step on the mat, and as soon as you grab them within 30 seconds, you know if they know how to train or not. Like it's almost the same thing with boxing, kickboxing. Like I've had people come to the gym saying, "Oh yeah, they've trained here, they've trained there, street fights, whatever sob story you want to put behind them." But as soon as I stand in front of them, they put their hands up, move around. It's like, yeah, you have no idea what you're doing. Like let's be realistic.
It's
I'll
pretty
teach you.
obvious.
Like, it's like within 30 seconds of the way that they bounce around, move around, you could tell if someone has trained before or not.
I love that about martial arts, right? Like that's like the best thing.
Yeah, most people right away.
Most people who don't compete in martial arts, they can't understand that. Jiu-jitsu, Taekwondo, whatever it is, boxing, I'm sure is the same way. Within a millisecond, you can completely see or feel what this guy's all about.
If you have somebody who's an expert in anything, you'll be able to tell the uninitiated from the real deal fairly quickly, whether it's martial arts or like
baking.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like, say you got into a kitchen, it's like, all right, I need 1/4 a cup of sugar. It's like, huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
They don't know. Give you a half cup.
You could tell if they don't know their way around the kitchen pretty quickly. Like, this guy don't know shit.
It's true.
As I always use an example of like mechanics, like taking apart an engine or cars, like anything. Like as far as being a mechanic, I don't know shit. Like I could change a tire, I could change the oil, but if you want me to take apart an engine, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about. Like,
but I feel like what makes it more magical for us is that we're describing somebody who has or who's basing it on information, taking apart a car, knowing what 1/4 cup of sugar is compared to a cup of sugar. Like that's like information. That's something that you could look at and like you can see. When you tell somebody, yo, within a couple of seconds, I could tell if this guy's a skilled fighter or not. Just by the way he moves, by the way he feels. People look at that and they're like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, you grab this guy and you can tell what he's made of already? And it's like, yeah. That I feel like to people is more magical.
It 100% is, especially like in jiu-jitsu or wrestling, the grappling arts. The second you lock up with somebody, and I mean literally like, whoop, you just touched, I know. Yeah. Just by how you feel, the tension in your body or the lack thereof, your base, your movements, like, oh, you don't know shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, oh, this guy's good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Rick.
And not to like put people like when you make that assumption, it's not like, oh, you're an idiot. Like you just don't know.
Yeah,
like
you're unskilled.
So it's not like a bad thing. I'm not like judging them in a negative way or anything. It's like, oh,
I am if you're lying about it.
Yeah, that's a different thing. But if someone just wants to like show me something, and like I can't tell you how many times someone's been, oh, they train, they do boxing, they do kickboxing, and they'll show me a video of them like hitting a bag, and it's them like doing an all-out blitz for like 30 seconds nonstop, as if like that's gonna impress me. Like,
And the bag's swinging all over the fucking place.
Yeah, like you're strong, you're fast. I get it. We're human beings.
They're looking over at Rick, making eye contact, go crazy on the bag, smiling like, you like this?
Well, it's funny. When I first started learning how to actually really strike and kickbox, I never knew that you can tell right away from bag work if somebody knows what they're doing or not by just watching them hit the bag. Perfect example is like if you go to the gym, say you're at like Unique, and you see somebody hitting the bag and doing the blitz that Rick just talked about. If you see the bag flying all over the place, that's a telltale sign that person doesn't know shit, because they're more than likely their feet aren't set underneath them and they're not hitting the target properly. Their fists are going off all to the sides of the bag, so the bag's wobbling around like a screen door in a hurricane, you know? And it's because
I like what you did there.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Terry G gave me props. So we're off to a good start. But yeah, you know that they don't know shit, because if a skilled person, that bag's not wobbling all over the place. Like when you watch Rick hit the bag's not flying all over the place crazy. It's just swinging back and forth, no matter what strikes he's throwing. Even if he's throwing crazy spinning back kicks, because he knows where his feet are, where to direct the kick, the bag's not flying all over the place crazy. And you could tell that right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick had to stop posting videos of himself doing bag work. His opponents kept fucking pulling out on him.
That's why I turned my page private.
Yeah, that's a good move. So I did want to ask, how did you get into opening a gym? Because I feel like we did talk about this, and this was like a cool story.
Yeah, so let's take it back to like 2012. I joined East West. Me and my friend Pat.
That was after like a little hiatus from Taekwondo, right? You came back and wanted to kickbox and stuff, right?
Yeah, so I would say about the time I graduated high school, I was just being a young kid, like degenerate, having fun, like hanging out with my friends, and it just.
You mean a normal kid?
Yeah, exactly. It interfered with me doing Taekwondo. Like I was fading away from all the traditional, like wearing the uniform, bowing, all that type of stuff. I was just like I was growing out of it. Then I did high school wrestling, high school sports, stuff like that. So I liked that kind of environment a lot better. It's like more relaxed. We could talk, we could hang out, you could curse, joke around with your friends. So I guess, yeah, actually bringing it back to that guy, Master Kim was his name. He did judo, taekwondo, all these different things. So that was the first time I ever actually did like MMA style stuff. I watched like UFC on TV with a couple of my friends back in the day. Nothing crazy, but I guess if you could call a style of traditional MMA would be that, just because it was a mix of like he would mix like judo and taekwondo and shit. Like that was the first time somebody ever showed me like, all right, throw a kick and a punch, and then grab like it wasn't wrestling takedowns, but it was like judo throws. Like all right, the guy grabs up, you do this. So I had a little like a tiny bit experience with it, not like never. I knew armbar, I knew like rear naked choke. I remember the first grappling tournament I ever did. First kid I beat on points. Second kid, I get triangle choked, and after it happens, I look up at the guy. I'm like, "What the fuck was that? Like, how did this guy just choke me with his legs? What's going on?" And then it just like sparked my interest, I guess. I forgot where we were going.
You joined East West?
Yeah, opened the gym. So
Yeah.
I faded away from the traditional stuff, just hanging out, relaxing, being a kid, and then a couple years go by. I think I actually went to AFC kickboxing for like a month or two at one point in time. Started doing some kickboxing there, but my work schedule it just didn't line up, so I couldn't go. And then me and Pat decided to join East West together.
Pat Carroll, who's another
Yeah.
Long Island staple professional kickboxer.
Yeah, he's
exactly.
a monster.
He had more like street fighting experience, I guess. As we were growing up, I always did like traditional martial arts, but we're both super athletic, and we're watching fights. We're like, hey, like we could do this. Like, might as well. It's like it's a good hobby. You could work out, do all that stuff. You guys know. So yeah, go to East West. I took a fight after like 2 months being there. Whatever. Fast forward all that bullshit. Eventually, I started helping teaching classes and like running practices.
Well, East West became a pretty big name gym too at this
Yeah.
point in time. Like on the around like what 2014, 15ish. Like MMA promotions were popping up on Long Island. There was a good amount of kickboxing shows, like Top Kick, Ring of Combat, shit like that. And East West, all those guys were compete. You guys always had 3, 4, 5
Yeah,
people
everywhere.
on every single card.
Yeah,
So
like
you guys were
NYFE
scrapping a
back
lot.
in the day. So yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was like the OG time of like MMA on Long Island because yeah, there's always like it's been around for a while, kickboxing, all that shit. But as time went on, I guess seeing the GoPro. Yeah, as time goes on, we made a pretty good name for ourselves. Like you said, we would have a bunch of people fighting on every show. We had real good record at the time. I think that was like a year and a half, 2 years straight. We went undefeated, and we'd have people fighting every other month.
Yeah, and like I remember, I didn't know you really well at this point, but I knew who you were. I knew who you, Shaquan, Pat. I knew who your coach Bobby was, and you like everybody knew like, all right, if you're fighting an East-West guy, they're tough, they're scrappy. Like, so you guys had a pretty good reputation. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Thank
fun.
you. I blacked out on that.
Yeah, we used to just, basically beat the shit out of each other all the time. It was just fun. It was like gritty training. It was like
Sounds
the
familiar.
gym was always a little dark, so I don't know. It doesn't matter what time of the day it was. Sometimes we would be there from 8 o'clock at night until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, just training, just going.
Try to keep that thing right in front of your face. Right?
Yeah, I feel it popping out. So yeah, teaching class there eventually. Just long story short, the gym ended up closing down. We moved a couple times, and it just didn't work out. So I won't get into detail on that, but bad business decisions, let's just say, wasn't our fault.
Well, things happen. You know what I mean? Like me and Nick went through similar things. We started I started in 2007 at Kyoto, and I was there for like a month and a half, and there was Master Mansour and his other partner Paul like had a big rift. The gym split, it became Red Boy. Then that fell apart. We went to Airborne, that fell apart. So like that's pretty common for a lot of gyms.
Yeah.
Yeah, money always gets in the way, and it tears people apart,
Yeah.
regardless of what organization or place of training you have.
Yeah, exactly. So like the thing with East West was that at the end of the day, the fighters, like, we were the ones running the gym, and we needed a coach. Like, we needed
The inmates were running the asylum.
but pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like, that's a good way to describe
That's a
it,
great way
honestly.
to put it, dude.
'Cause especially, this is what 7 years ago, something like that. We were all still pretty fucked up.
So
yeah,
you,
so the gym stopped. I get a normal job. Like I've always had random odd jobs over the years, whether it's doing floors, construction, garage doors, pools, like just random shit. So I'm working at the IRS, miserable, sitting at a desk, thinking about killing myself. And fucking
yeah,
killing
you said
everybody in the
you
building.
fucking hated it, right? You were like
yeah,
the
it was
odd man.
miserable.
You were like the odd man in that building.
Yeah, like I'm not. If you ever go to Walmart in Middle Island and see the type of people that walk around, like that's the type of people that work in the IRS. Like, there's a bunch of normal people, and if you have common sense and you're a normal person, you're gonna excel in that place, and you could rise to the top very easily. But there's also a lot of people that just squeak by, like literally come to work in their pajamas. But I don't know. That's who's handling your taxes, by the way. Anyway, yeah, like let's just say I couldn't take working there. I would see YouTube because I'm fighting. I'm still training. I was a professional fighter while I'm working at the IRS. That's like it doesn't make sense. Watching videos of people do seminars and like teaching, and I see this one video in particular kind of like switched in my head. Like there's this one guy who's an idiot, has no idea what he's doing, no idea what he's like talking about or teaching, and he's got this hotel, like hall room or ballroom, I guess, and you can tell he's doing a seminar. Every person in that room definitely paid at least like $40 or $50, and there's like 30 people in the room. So this moron basically is getting paid like a couple $1,000s to teach, and he has no idea what he's doing. And I've seen countless people do it, and I just finally was like, I've had enough. Like if they could do it, I could do it. Like I'm miserable right now. Like IRS, yeah, if I stay here for 20 years, I'll have a pension. It's like safe. I have health benefits, all that stuff. But I was fucking miserable, and
That's dope.
I couldn't do it. Like, I'm smart enough. I have a lot of network connections. If I wanted to get a different job, like, let's say the hurricane was fucking worse than history, gym gets knocked down for some reason, insurance doesn't work out. Like, God forbid the gym closed down right now. I could get different jobs. I could probably get a really good paying job someplace else, but I know I'd be fucking miserable my whole life. So
Yeah, I think that's a cool story that you wound up ending up at the IRS watching videos, and that was like what made you click and say like, shit, I could do this and provide better services to people than this idiot in the fucking ballroom. You know, that's pretty dope.
I used to I don't know. I would just call out immediately every single time. Like, you accrue vacation days and sick days. As soon as I got it, I would use it immediately. Like, yo, you can't do this. And I'm just like, well, I did. Like, what? And
Fight me.
I did. Sometimes I would feel bad because my mom has worked there for like 20, 25 years. My aunt works there for like 25, 30 years. Like, my aunt's like, she was like my boss's boss. She was like the head of the department. My mom was pretty high up there, but it just, so I didn't want to like make them look bad because I knew people had like expectations or something, but it wasn't for me. I remember the last straw, actually. It was like a WK national tournament. It was like a 3-day thing at Queens College. We had a couple of guys doing kickboxing, MMA. It was the most stressful 3-day tournament of my entire life. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm not going back. Like, yeah, not that one had anything to do with the other, but I just had enough after that. Like, I needed a rest after that 3-day weekend. It was Monday morning. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not going back to the IRS. And I didn't go for like 2 weeks. All of a sudden I get a call. I think it's my mom, because every time my mom calls me from work, it's like, it's this specific IRS number. I was like, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on? And it's my boss. And it's my old boss. He's like, oh, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, you could come back if you want to. Like, we still got your desk open. I was like, oh, shit, man. Sorry, I got a lot going on. I meant to call, like, give you a call back.
It's 2 weeks later.
Yeah, like, they that's how badly, like, they want normal people. Like, I felt like fucking Superman walking around always in there. Not that.
Yeah, well, you probably also look like Superman compared to some of these people, dude. How did your family take you bouncing on the IRS for your dream to open a gym? Were they supportive, or?
Yes and no. Like, obviously they were upset that I was giving up like the stability and all that stuff. And my mom, like, same thing. She didn't want me to like leave a bad impression on anybody else there. But at the end of the day, like, I'm my own person. They understand
you gotta
that.
do what you gotta do.
They've always been supportive with me, like, doing martial arts and fighting my entire life. So
Yeah, this is your life.
Yeah, I can't say that they've never doubted me. They've 100% been supportive every step of the way. All my fights, like, we get along the best. Like, at my fights, after my fights, like, they get drunk, they have a great time. All my friends, all my family, it's fun. So it definitely, like, brings us together every time.
Yeah, that's dope. That's really dope. Yo, let's talk about your title fight, bro. That was a fucking exciting night.
Yeah, that was dope.
You what belt was that?
That was a New York State ISKA professional kickboxing championship, 145.
So you're the champ.
145 pounds, yeah, basically.
That belt has a pretty good lineage too. I know Chris Algieri, when he was still a professional kickboxer before he transitioned to boxing, he held that title.
Mm-hmm.
I think he held it for several years. It's a pretty notable name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ISK is like, it's a good, thank you. It's a well-known and well-respected organization. It's probably like the biggest sanctioning body for kickboxing in the world, I would have to say.
Oh yeah,
right
100%.
That was something that you always wanted too, right? You always wanted a championship belt, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's like a big checklist on my bucket list.
Yeah,
or check off.
So is there like a next step after that, like belt wise? Like, is there like a national?
Yeah,
because it's state, right? It's New York State.
Yeah, it was New York State. So I could it really just depends on the opportunity from a promoter. And I mean, like, realistically, if we're being honest, like, anybody could probably fight for any. I've seen two people from different states fight for that state's belt before. Just like,
oh, so you don't have to actually be like a state resident.
Yeah, like this, it's worked out this time where I was from New York and the other guy was from like Tennessee or Atlanta or wherever it was. But
I think he's from Tennessee.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's dope.
Anyway, yeah, so I could go for like a national belt. What I did have lined up next, and what I plan on having as my next fight is Lou Neglia hit me up after this one, said it was supposed to be an MSG, but now it's going to be a different venue, like an outdoor enclosed venue in the city. He always has real big cards. There's an international title fight against this guy from Chile. So that would be like an awesome check. Like, first I went state, now I could say international. Like, if it's international, like, that's pretty close to saying world champ at that point.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So that belt, you're going to be defending your title, or you're going to be looking to
chase
grab
a different one. Yeah,
nice.
I'm definitely
Double
not
champ.
against, like, I originally had an idea to defend that New York State belt either in September, October, but
bigger opportunity.
Which I could probably make more money doing that, especially if it's like a local event, selling more tickets. Probably get paid more from a different promotion, but I'm not doing this for the money at the end of the day. Like, I'm doing it for like a legacy, and not that I have to prove anything to myself, but like, just it's almost like a resume. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't go to college and get a fucking bachelor's degree or master's degree, which I'm happy I didn't, because I'd be in a shit ton of student loan debt. But if I could say, hey, I'm like, let's, for example, as a personal trainer opening a gym, everyone's asking me, oh, you certified? Do you have like NASM? Do you have this certification, that certification? No, I don't. But I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Look at everyone I've trained over the years. Look at me. Look like.
Yeah, now you can hit him over the head with the belt.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I don't need a piece of paper that's going to prove my worth.
Fuck up, bro.
So if I can have a nice shiny belt that says New York State and international, like that means more to me than.
Yeah, I could definitely
Yeah,
agree with
it's
that.
college
proof.
degree.
It's proof that
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
you're doing, you know, rather than like saying, hey, I paid X amount of dollars and I Googled all these answers.
Yeah.
And
the fact that it's professional means like actually means something.
right.
Yeah, I won a couple amateur kickboxing championships, but if you're an amateur kickboxing champ, amateur MMA champ, and first of all, you shouldn't be bragging, period. But if you're walking around bragging about amateur titles, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a room full of pro fighters, like
Big
you
difference.
should kind of know your place, and you should calm it down, but some people don't. And then you're going to walk around like, let's say you fucking win an amateur championship, and you go to a local hibachi spot wearing a fucking suit, and you sign autographs, like...
Oh my
You smoking
God.
crack, like
Why do I have a
yourself
feeling
little
that
bit.
this really went down?
It was just a random example. I'm just saying, like, if like Frankie Edgar or GSP or like some actual like legitimate world UFC champions in the room, like you're gonna feel embarrassed. Like, just I don't know, be realistic.
Some people do, some people don't.
That was so specific. It obviously happened in real life. Like local hibachi spot located like
Suit,
just
signing
off Sunrise
autographs.
Highway.
So Rick,
Nah.
the most people when we're talking MMA, you know, they have their like, oh, I want to turn pro, win a regional championship and get into like Bellator, UFC one. Like for kickboxing, it's not as like established as MMA is. What was the original goal? Like win that title, like get to Glory, K1, something like that. But even like Glory's kind of not around as much anymore. So
Yeah.
like what is like what's your end goal besides like a world title and things like that? Like to get to like a bigger stage, or you have ideas to transition into MMA or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely do. Yeah, like I would say, coming up, the goal was always Glory Kickboxing. I want to be Glory World Champ. Like I would rather be kickboxing, like the biggest organization, kickboxing world champ, than the biggest organization, UFC world champ. That's redundant. Yeah, kickboxing, like whether it's Glory, even like you said, even though they're not as popular or prominent anymore, they're still trying to make a name for themselves. But it's kickboxing needs more fuel, I guess, in the U.S. and in Europe and other countries. It's
Big, right?
Yeah, it's huge. Like K1 in Japan, it's they love it, and for like rightfully so. I think kickboxing is way more exciting than boxing. There's,
100%.
Glory
Definitely.
Kickboxing has the highest knockout rate in any other sport, any other combat sports. It's action. That's why. I mean, there's pros and cons about it all, but 12 rounds of boxing for me, it's like, not saying I don't want to fight for that long. Like, yeah, I don't want to fight for that long, but it's very calculated. It's like round by round. It's a lot more of a
Long game.
You really got to pick and choose when you're.
Yeah, it makes it for me. It turns into a lot more of a sport than a fight.
Yeah, there's round strategy. Like especially in the beginning rounds with boxing, say you get out, you win the first 3-4 rounds, like you could take the next round off. Basically,
Right.
Like there's strategy behind. Okay, I'm up potentially 4 rounds. I could cruise the next 2, lose them, and then turn it back on because I have exit. It's just it gets weird.
Yeah, you get to conserve your
It's
energy.
like anything. It's like we were talking about jiu-jitsu, like EBI. Like you start to play the rule set,
Yeah.
rather than actually fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you, because last 2 podcasts ago, I think we were talking about this. What do you feel about the flex fights doing the pro kickboxing with the small gloves?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw John Way Parr do it. I think you mentioned that, or
Yeah.
I
Yeah, in
heard somebody.
Australia.
What small gloves?
So they do pro
MMA
gloves.
Yeah.
Oh, with MMA gloves.
Yeah,
So
kickboxing.
kickboxing with MMA gloves.
Oh, that's sick.
Would that be something that you would like to dabble in? I think you did say you would fuck around with bare knuckle, right?
Yeah, and that's like pretty close to bare knuckle with kicks and knees.
Yeah.
Um,
No elbows though, right?
No.
Elbows in kickboxing, no.
in kickboxing, in Muay Thai there would be.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess it depends on the rule set, but
With to kind of circle back to what we're talking about, like your origin story. So you opened up No Limits, and you kind of took the East-West guys and brought them in, like reassembled that gym kind of under a different banner.
I would say reassemble. I wouldn't say took because
reassembled.
I know you.
Yeah, sorry, bad choice of words. It sounds like
we had no gym for like a year and like so. Yeah, let's circle back to because I remember we got switched off after I stopped and I was working at the IRS. So eventually, I was renting a house at the time, like 5 minutes away from where I live now. It had a 1-car garage, and it was like just shit. Long story short, I finished the garage myself. I didn't like paint it and make it super nice, but I made it into a gym. It's a garage gym. I got wrestling mats from somebody, got a bunch of equipment, and for 8 months, I was training people out of my gym.
In your house?
Yeah, whether like regular just personal training, like people want to lose weight, get in shape. We had a bunch of guys that were still actively fighting. So whether we had to meet up in the field or we would meet up in somebody else's gym or they would come in my garage, like you can only spar so much and move around in a 1-car garage. But, I mean, we made it work. Like Jeremy specifically. I remember Jeremy's been playing, like we've been training since literally in my garage back in the day. And then
he's an OG, huh?
We go to Bellator and Nassau Coliseum.
I was training Jeremy at that point in time too. And he was like, yo, I think I'm going to hit up Rick Schaefer. And I was like, you fucking should. He's like, and I remember him asking me like what I thought, like, yo, do you think I should go train? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, Rick is a pro kickboxer. I'm like, at that time I'd been training with Keith for several years. So I was doing what I could with Jeremy, but I'm like, yo, Rick's going to fill in the gaps that I don't have. I'm like, go train with Rick. And he was going to your garage and he was getting ready for, I think his like return MMA fight. He'd taken like a year off. And you started training him, and he's been there ever since. And I think after that fight is when you officially began to open No Limits. And he was splitting time kind of back and forth between the two of us. And I remember at one point being like, yo, just stay with Rick. I was like, for kickboxing, he's going to be the guy. Like, if you're not going to go to like Keith Trimble or like, you know, AFC or like a boxing gym or things like that, I'm like, Rick is definitely who you need to stay with. I knew who you were, but we weren't like super tight yet. And I remember he won that fight, and I think we cornered him together. I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah. Do you remember which one?
I think it was the Diogo. It was like the fight before he got the Triton title fight.
When he fought that guy Jamal Pottinger, the black kid.
Yes. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. And I think like 2 months later you opened No Limits.
Yeah, not long after that.
Yeah.
Jeremy was the first person that came to me and was just like, you're my coach. Like just 100% trusted whatever I did. Probably helped. I wouldn't say help, but everybody else that we've been training with, like we were peers for a very long time first. And then like slowly they just like kind of let me coach them. And I just like kind of stepped up and did our thing. But
yeah, and then
probably Jeremy coming in from like a different, like, he came from Bombos, just trained with you, trained with everybody else. He was the first person who just fully was just like, yep, whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. And it worked. Like, his fighting style, like, kid fights in hockey since he was, 10 years old? I don't even know how long he's been
That's
playing
great.
hockey for. Look at a lot of his knockouts, a lot of his finishes. It's one hand in the clinch, uppercuts, crosses. Like, I know what he was good at. We trained, like, to set out what he was good at. Like, I've never once told Jeremy to throw a head kick in his entire life. Like, it's not, I'm not going to tell him to do the shit that I'm going to do. It's different, but he does what works for him, and it works pretty well.
I feel like that was kind of the blueprint, right? Like you had Jeremy, you'd already kind of set a precedent that you're not, like you were working with other people too. It wasn't like my way or the highway. And that's kind of how it has to be in MMA. You got to have multiple different coaches. And then like I said, you reassembled the guys from East-West. It was like, oh, he's got this guy fighting. All the old guys that wanted to fight were like, shit, let's make this happen. And then you also started training with Keith at that point in time also. And I feel like that's a big deal, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but like I've always said, like, who's your coach's coach to some degree. If you're not still learning from somebody else,
yeah,
you know, there's a ceiling to what you know. And I feel like that was a perfect I guess lineage almost. Yeah. Keith's been around forever, Belmore Kickboxing's been around forever, so it's like Belmore, No Limits, and then the guys, like it's a you know the affiliation, you know where where everything's coming. You know where everything is coming from, and I think that's a big deal. It's like you already had your credentials established, but it's like, look, this guy's still learning, still advancing. Yeah. Even though I'm the head coach, I still have things to learn. I think that's huge, and I think that plays a big part and another reason why people are like, yeah, I'm coming to Rick.
Yeah, well, that's important in any martial art, that the teacher is still learning. You know, it's super important. It shows a lot. It shows
it shows that you still have an open mind.
Yes,
and you know that you don't know everything.
Correct.
Like, I feel like especially like if you're like Keith. Keith is old enough to where he has been around. He's got 30 years, 40 years of experience. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he when
multiple world champions that he's trained.
Like, when you reach that level of experience, you don't need that. But I'm 30 years old. Like, I barely even feel 30 years old. I know that I'm still young. Like, even though I've been doing martial arts in total for 25 years, like since I was 5, like real kickboxing maybe like 8, like I guess 9 years, like real fight training. But I know that there's, as much as I do know, I know that, like, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I feel like that's with anything.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like
you need to realize that you don't have all the answers. Like, you have to have a coach. Like, no one can be too hard-headed where you don't listen to anyone. Like, you need, even shit that I do, even shit that I'll say. Like, that's why I videotape myself hitting the bag sometimes, because I think I'm keeping my hands up, but nope, you're not. Like, and I think I'm turning my foot over when I throw across, but maybe you're not. Like,
Yeah.
you need a second pair of eyes.
Yeah, and that's important too. Sorry, D-Rock. That's important too for like a student to come to you. I mean, like, that says a lot about the instructor, you know, that they're open-minded, that they're still looking to better themselves. Because if you can better yourself, the student and the people under you are just going to fucking grow so much better.
Yeah,
you know, it's
100%.
I feel like we have sorry, I just said we, but I feel like at No Limits we have a good thing because, like I said, you had that base foundation from all the guys that you were with previously. You branched out with Keith. I'm with Keith also, and down the road, Rick actually hired me to coach there as well.
Yeah, so why would you say sorry about saying we?
I don't know.
Didn't fucking make sense.
Between that, like, you know, me and you are both learning from Keith, so the things we say are all coming from the same source, right? And then we have a great relationship with Long Island MMA, you know, so we train with them a lot, and it's like it just built a real solid core around the gym.
Sorry. I'm still listening.
No, I was just letting you get your drink, that's all. No, I'm just saying I feel like we have a good solid core around it, and it's those things, especially when it comes to MMA, I think are good building blocks for success, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, I actually, going back to why I started training with Keith, like, I knew that I still needed a coach. Like, I knew that, especially me, I'm training people in my garage. Like, what about me? I need to do something. I was just bouncing around from gym to gym. Like, I think before it was, now it's South Shore Iron, but I think it used to be Finest Fitness back in the day. I would just, any open gym that I knew of, that I knew I could get open mat space, and I knew I could hit a bag and shit like that, they wouldn't let me train people there. I wasn't going to try to, like, be a scumbag and do that behind people's backs, but I would use it as, like, me time. And gym time is my favorite me time. Like, I don't know, I get some of the best workouts when I'm by myself.
I did want to ask you though. You were saying that, like, you guys reassembled some of the dudes from East West, and Pat, I guess he was like your friend. I guess you guys were close before.
Yeah, Pat's been one of them. Well, he is my best friend.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not Pat. Who's the other dude? The dirty boxer.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy's my fucking boy.
Yeah,
He's
did
like
you
my
you
brother.
find it hard going from, like, friend to trainer? Is that a hard thing to, like, do people have a hard time, like, being like, all right, Rick, we're boys outside the gym, now I'm in the gym, I got to look at you differently? You find any hurdles with that over the years, or?
Ironically, it's like my closest friends are the ones who are the easiest to just switch over. And
Oh,
just,
awesome.
Like, and do that. Yeah, like, when it's time to hang out, we're fucking around, we're boys. We're obviously equals. And, like, even when I'm training them, we're still equals. But they understand that, like, when it's time for me to coach, you're the student, I'm the coach. Like,
That's cool.
Just do
I
it.
feel like it depends on the person too.
Yeah.
Like, because some people, I mean, it's not necessarily your fault. It's like how they perceive you. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's also, like, me being, like, a young guy owning the gym. That's always a thing. Like, I'm always super friendly. I try to be people's friends, but people that I've known for 10 years, like, I'm their friend first, and then I'll be your coach. Yeah, but there's a lot of new people where I can be friendly with you, but at the end of the day, like, I'm your coach first, and then we could 100% be friends. We can hang out, do, like, have a good time, bullshit. But, like, when I'm trying to be serious, you gotta be fucking serious.
I give you credit though, because you're aware of that and you manage it well. And even like me, like, I would come and take some privates with Rick, and Rick's a very good instructor. He's got a good eye. He's meticulous. And, like, I wasn't getting a technique at one time, and Rick's like, hey, what are you, fucking stupid? And he's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, dude, it's fine. I'm like, I'm here to learn, man. Like, it's fine. If I'm being stupid, I want you to tell me. He's like, yeah, I know, but we're friends still. I'm like, dude, it's fine. Like, when we're for the next 40 minutes, if you tell me I'm fucking stupid, I'm fucking stupid. Like, this is a whole, like, I'm not upset. Like, this is what I'm here for. This is why. And that's why, like, Remy, what you said, the person who's coming there has to be able to know that and separate. There's a reason why I'm here. I came to you, right? So I have to know that that's what I'm here for. I came to you for a fucking reason, and I need to be able to put that away and be like, this is why I'm here, so I need to fucking listen.
Yeah. I think that's why, like, I mean, well, Misa definitely trains with Keith way more than me now, especially ever since he moved to out west, and then
R.I.P. Misa. R.I.P.
Yeah. But anyway, like, at the gym for the last couple of years, like, just to name a few, like, Misa, Pat, Devin, Ryan, Jeremy, like, just off the top of my head, they would be, like, some of my closer friends, if not my closest friends at the gym, but they're also the most, like, they'll just, like, put their ego aside. Like, maybe it's being...
Damn,
like,
bro, I'm right here.
Well, yeah. Like, besides that. But they can easily, like, put the ego aside and just, like, yes, sir. Like, just do what I'm saying. Like, they know that whatever I'm saying it for a reason. Like...
Yeah, it makes life easy for you.
Yeah, like, it's not like, oh, they're friends first. They're like, oh, what? Like, you're not going to... Not that I'm saying, like, don't backtalk, but don't, like, question it. Like, sometimes someone will, like, they'll throw 1, 2, 3, drop their hands, and then I'm like, hey, you're dropping your hands. And then they look at me and, like, shrug their shoulders, put their hands out, like, what? What am I doing? It's like, do you fucking think I'm saying this for no reason? Why do you want me to correct you or not? Like, do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to let you have a bad habit?
So what do you think, balancing building a real competitive gym and your own career, do you get more joy out of seeing what you're building succeeding? Like, I mean, the last couple events, we've had multiple guys fighting, and most people have been winning. Like, it's been a good streak. Like, what feels, and this is a hard question, but what feels more rewarding?
It's tough to say. I guess watching my friends win probably is more rewarding and, like, fulfilling. I would say rewarding. Good, but it's tough to say.
Stumped him.
It's a tough one. It's a tough question.
Because I don't know, like, the personal feeling of, like, the adrenaline, everything that's involved with the fight and winning, shit like that. Like, that's probably the best, because there's nothing like it. Like, I do get that same adrenaline when I watch my friends win, whether I'm in the corner or whether I'm just watching from the sidelines, from TV, wherever. But winning yourself, like, being realistic is probably the best. But the last card, the last flex, when you fought also, we had 5 other guys from the gym fighting, and watching Rick balance, coming over, watching, getting excited, getting super pumped, and then try to maintain himself being in the zone was so funny. Yeah. And, like, you went from being like, dude, he showed up, he brought an air mattress, was laying in the air mattress in the back locker room.
That's a boss move right there.
Power move right there.
And then people start fighting, and Rick's, like, creeping over, trying not to get too involved, but, like, can't help himself. He's coming over, watching, getting super excited. All right, back to the zone. Then somebody else would fight. He'd creep back over, and you could see, I was watching you, like, struggle with, like, I want to get all in and fucking lose my mind for everybody winning, but I got to keep myself in the zone. It was so funny to watch. And I felt a little bad, because I knew how hard it was for you, like, to be like, fuck, I can't, like, I want to be there, but like, I got shit I got to do.
Yeah, you can't have that adrenaline dump either.
Yeah.
You got to kind of keep your composure.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely fun. I enjoyed the experience. But I don't know if it depends if we're all fighting at the same time and we're all like, maybe on the main card, but it's all so spread out like that. It was
a long day.
Yeah, because no matter who, I'm all of their coach, all of their friends. So it's like, and this is like, it's what I do. It's what I love. Like, nothing gets me more pumped up, especially seeing my friends fight. And then on the side of me fighting, it's like you're trying to keep your heart rate down as much as possible the entire time. Like, I do my morning quick run, couple sprints, like shadow box, do a little shakeout, and then after that, I'm just trying to chill and relax as much as possible. That's why I brought the air mattress. I know I was going to be there for
funniest fucking thing
6
ever.
hours.
I know,
it's one of the smartest things I've ever done.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that, and I'm like, dude, look at him chilling, bro.
It was so funny.
It was awesome, man.
Dude, he probably has a hard time keeping the heart rate down when the Spartan music comes on to walk out to. That shit's fucking sick.
Fire.
Yeah, if they would have played it correctly, it would have been even better.
Why? What was wrong with it? And then they took it for like to promote the fight, didn't they? They used your fucking OG music.
Yeah, so I had to say something about that.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got some
it was
coin in
like-
your pocket for that one.
Rick was so excited too because I remember we were being here talking about it, and like this guy went out of his way to cut that shit up and customize it himself, and then they fucking botched it.
Yeah, he had to get. He had, what did they do wrong about it?
It was the I forgot the like sector of people. The whatever. Somebody was basically supposed to hold me in the back, and they were gonna play like some video on the TV screen while they played that other music. But nobody ever told me this, and I wasn't aware of it. So then I walk out, like the other kid walks out, I walk out, and it sounds like some fucking Resident Evil theme music. Like they probably heard like the Spartan thing from my song and like Googled a different song that like sounded similar so they could play during the preview video, like the promo video. So yeah, I was a little that definitely throws you off no matter what anybody says. Like if you're expecting a whole song,
fuck yeah,
you're thinking about, especially if it's like the same one and you're set on it. Like,
Yeah.
some people flip flop back and forth and you don't really care. But
Who was that UFC fighter or Bellator fighter that for years he was texting the promoter the song that he wanted?
That was so funny.
Rory
the-
McDonald.
But
Yeah, I
the
think so.
promoter changed his number, so some random person out there, he's like, "Oh, what do you want to listen? What are you walking out to today?" And that was just like Katy Perry.
Yeah,
Fucking-
he'd be like, it was always the wrong song.
Yeah, it wasn't what he picked. And
He's
then and one day the guy went up to him and was like, "Yeah, we don't have that song." And he's just like, "What do you mean? I never text you or whatever it was. I didn't ask for that song." And then they figured out that the guy was texting the wrong number for like a couple of years.
That's so good for like that guy that got the number, fucking,
Yeah.
just to go along with it, not be like, hey, you got the wrong number. He's like, no, this is what we're gonna rock with.
Yeah.
I've had shit like that happen to me too. Like my first MMA fight in New Jersey, I gave the DJ my walkout song. I was going to walk out to Tupac, Ambitions as a Rider, and I had visualized that in my head for like 6 weeks for this.
Mhm.
Nothing. They played nothing. I walked out to silence.
Silence?
Yeah, dude. They didn't even play the song. And then one of my last fight, I gave them. It was a Jedi Mind Trick song that I wanted to walk out, and instead, they played.
The theme to Star Wars.
No, they played Biggie, and it was fucked up because this girl Sarah Thomas fought the same night. That was her walkout music, and she was literally like 2 fights before me. And then I walk out, and they played her walkout music for me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is the second. Now you played the two same walkout songs for separate people. And I remember walking out being like, what the fuck? And Eric Ott was in my corner. I looked at Eric Ott. I was like, this isn't my music. And he's like, you have to fight, asshole. Who cares? And I'm like, I care. And like, it
it's
means
frustrating.
something. Like, I remember you at the Garden.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, MSG. I like the guy's wearing like a fucking shiny chrome disco like Euro. He looks like something out of Euro Trip, the DJ, and everybody has to walk up. You give him your song. I wasn't like I don't think I was a main or co-main, but regardless, other kid walks out. My turn to walk out, and it was Wild Eyes, Parkway Drive song, like heavy metal, like rock song, just to get me hyped up. Same thing that it was supposed to be this time, without the 5-second addition that turned into a 30-second intro. But anyway, they're playing like the reggaeton version of like Get Low by like Flow Rida and shit like that. And there's all these like Russian little kids that are like the ushers at those events that like they try to keep everybody on schedule and like, come on. I'm like, nope, I don't give a fuck. I was like, tell that guy to fix the song. He has one job. I'm not walking out to this. Like, I'm fighting at MSG. I've been waiting for this for so long. Like, I have 150, like who knows how many people in the crowd. Like, I'm not like, nope, I don't give a fuck. And like, I think it was on UFC Fight Pass. They're like, oh, come on, we're on like time strain. I was like, well, if we're on a time schedule, then you better tell that guy to fix the fucking song right now. 'Cause,
I feel like
I'm not
Ott did
walking
the
out
same
there.
thing. Didn't you do the same thing, Ott?
Not in regards to music. I'll tell that story in a second. So I was in Rick's corner for that, and they came over to me like, tell him he's got to go. And I woke over to Rick. I'm like, Rick, what's going on? He's like, this isn't my fucking music. I'm not moving until they put my goddamn music on. He's like, go tell them that. And he just goes right back to Shadowbox, and I walk over. I'm like, you heard him, right? They're like, yeah, but I was like, he's not going anywhere. Fix the fucking music. And they just looked at me like, fuck.
Did they get it right? They got it right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they had to
eventually
go
they
run
fixed
around. There was like another 3-4 minutes, and Rick's like,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking moving until that song comes on.
That's fucking
It
mid.
was
for
a
you,
solid
though.
like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah,
So.
and then
Probably felt like a lifetime to them, though.
he hears the music hit, and he goes, about fucking time, and then stood there for like another 30 seconds, and I looked at Keith. Keith looked at me. Keith's like, It's his shit. We ain't going nowhere. All right. But Eric Ott was the main event for Triton, and it's hurry up and wait on fight day. They get you there. Like, if you're the main event, dude, you might not fight till midnight. And they're like, oh, you got to check in at 4 o'clock. And they're like, oh, the rules meeting will be at 5. It's never that. So, like, we're sitting there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. They're like, all right, rules meeting at 6. All right, rules meeting at 6:45. Eric's like, yo, fuck this. I'm going. I'm leaving. I'm going to get food. And we're going to leave. And they're like, if you leave, your fight's going to get scratched. He goes, great. I'm the main event. So if you want to lose the main event, I'll go home and I'll do drugs.
That's right. That's right. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Didn't he not go there till like half hour, 20 minutes before his fight?
One time, yeah.
One time, I remember everyone's looking for him, and then I see him like right before the fight starts. I'm like, oh, where you been? He's like, I'm just hanging out in my car. Waiting.
I sat in the car with him that night for like 2.5 hours. We were just sitting in the car.
That is fucking awesome.
He ended up not fighting till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's crazy.
Sometimes it's nuts. I remember there was my last amateur fight. I fought at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
What? What time did you get there?
Probably 3 or 4 o'clock.
Holy shit, man.
I think there was 24. It was either 24 or 26 fights that night. But
why do promoters do that, man? Why do they load the fucking card up with 30 fights?
I get why they do it. Like, especially if it's
it?
amateur. Like, you got to account for so many variables, man. Like, one, they try to sell as many tickets as they can to make their money, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the more people selling tickets, the more money. And then you got to take into account, okay, if it's amateur,
People are going to miss
A lot of
weight.
pull-outs,
people are going to
yeah.
miss weight or people are going to pull out. So you aim for 30 and hopefully you still get 15. You know, so you got to account for a lot of shit. And then sometimes the weird stroke of luck works against you where everybody's fighting. Now it's like, holy shit, we got 30 fucking fights.
Yeah,
you
now
know?
we got to scramble to stay on time.
Yeah.
How many were at the last flex? There was a lot.
There was a lot of fights, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I wouldn't be against having a shit ton of fights on an event like that, but just call it one event. Like, it's just one long giant event. Like, I just don't like having like, all right, a morning thing, an afternoon thing, a night thing. It's like, it's not a doubleheader. Like baseball, a doubleheader is when the Yankees play a team, and then at night the Yankees also play again against the same team. Like, unless you're fighting twice in one night, it's not a doubleheader. Like, it's one long event. It's not two separate events.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a way to like separate the tickets or something like that, maybe, but
Maybe it was
I
to
don't
get
know,
people
like-
out of the section, because I know for that fight, like the VIP
Yeah.
section was blown up.
Oh my god, that
Yeah,
was
it's-
terrible.
yeah,
Yeah.
VIP section was not very
VIP-ish. Yeah, it was not very VIP-ish.
It was NVIP.
Well, talking about that event, though, dude, I'm telling you, I'd said this to you before, but it was awesome watching you fight live, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it was great.
Getting to meet
Thanks.
you as a person, becoming your friend and shit, and seeing, like you around, like, you know, I never trained, like, I trained with you one day rolling and stuff, but, like, just hearing how you talk about the sport, how you carry yourself, how you're very disciplined with eating, and you're regimented, and then watching you fight live was, like, unreal, dude. Like, I had a great time. I was super happy you fucking took the fight. And I was highly impressed, man. It was
Yeah, it was
a
awesome.
fucking great night. I was really happy I made it to the fight.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's always good to see like somebody who's like on top of all their shit, like go out there and then like it's like, oh wow, like that's what it's supposed to look like, you
Yeah.
know? Instead of like, you know, some people who come in here, or not in here specifically, but like just come in, you know, maybe drinking the weekend before their fight or whatever it may be. You know, but like it's nice to see someone who does everything right and then go out there and then put on performance that's basically, I mean, perfect, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
other
thanks.
than the couple slips and
And it's good also because I met you guys like I don't. It was probably before Corona happened, yeah, because this place opened before that. But
Yeah, I think-
around the same time.
Yeah.
just
basically
give
to
a
meet
month
you guys
before.
during like a delay when like there wasn't, because normally I've been fighting like every couple of months ever, so everyone always meets me in that aspect. Like I met you guys not in that sense. Like we knew each other a little bit already, but
Yeah.
especially like you, Terrence, and Nick, like we didn't meet like in a gym or like in a gym setting. So we like met as completely separately as friends first, and then it like turned into that, and like now, yeah, like then you guys see for yourself pretty much. So
Yeah, and it was great, man. It was so exciting. The fucking intro was dope as shit. You know, I felt bad for you guys though with the mat.
Oh,
yeah,
how
it
was that? Was that like, did that change your whole game plan or not really?
Yes and no. I mean, I wanted to use like every weapon I could, but I was definitely going to be heavy on the spin kicks because I dropped him. The last time we fought, I dropped him with a spinning back kick, and I hit him with another one that should have ended the fight. Said it was a nut shot, it wasn't, but it was better that it wasn't because I got more cage time. I got to fight more, so it worked out. Whatever. But yeah, so then as soon as nighttime hit, I guess it was real, like the condensation or whatever on the mat. It was a slip and slide. So everybody else is sliding all over the place. I have these guys in the corner with like Jeremy and Misa, and people are literally just like walking forwards and slipping, or they throw a kick and then they slip. So I had at least 4 or 5 people come over and tell me like, "Oh, no spinning shit, no spinning shit. You're gonna slide around everywhere." So that kind of sucks, and also like hitting quick angles and like planting my foot or trying to like push off my back foot real quick to explode in. I do that a lot, and you can't do that when you don't like. Yeah, exactly. I think if you're like
on ice,
if you're wearing socks on like a tile floor and you try to like dart to the side real quick, your feet are gonna fall out from under you.
Yeah.
So I do honestly think that if it was a regular mat, I could like grip my feet, I would have been able to finish him, because I could have I'll like pop in and out or plant my feet or do something, and a lot of times I was like slipping and all I could do was back up.
It was impressive though, and Nick said this too. Like other people showed visible frustration in the fight dealing with it. You didn't.
Yeah.
You never let it you never threw up your hands or like went fuck or whatever. You just like, this is just what it is.
Yeah,
and
it
kept
exactly,
your focus.
Because after hearing it a couple of times, like same thing me and Keith talked about, it's like it is what it is. Like he's got to deal with the same shit I got to deal with. Like, and I'd rather keep my hands up and not slip and get kicked in the face because I'm falling off balance. Like if I slip and fucking make a scene about it and complain, all it's doing is distracting me from the task at hand. Like,
right. I can definitely attest to like having been in the gym with you and sparred with you in the lead up to this fight. I know that when you have your feet planted underneath you, your kicks are way more damaging. Like one of our last sparring sessions, Rick beat the shit out of my legs. We came in here, I think, like the next day or whatever, and I was like limping around. And I remember Nick being like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Rick fucked my legs up."
I held a pad for him one time before we went to work when he was throwing kicks. I don't know. Yeah. And the rest of the day, I couldn't even walk up the stairs. I was like,
damn, through the pad?
Through the pad.
Oh my God.
Left leg, I think I had a bruise on my thigh, and like I was barely walking up the stairs at that point.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
Did anybody catch the Pacquiao fight last night? Rick, you watched that?
No, I didn't. I heard it was.
Do we even know who won?
Pacquiao lost.
Really?
Yeah, decision. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody got hurt at
the flex.
The flex.
Yeah, like that was honestly when it was slippery. The only thing I was worried about was losing my footing, accidentally slipping as he's like throwing a kick or something. And, like normally I would be good, but maybe I'm gonna reach out, but whatever.
I was like really surprised because some people were fucking sliding all over.
Yeah,
the
we were
place.
talking about like knee injuries.
Yeah,
not even like a head
torn
kick.
ACL.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I went in there thinking, all right, I can't throw spinning kicks because my balance is going to be off. And then he tried to throw some weak-ass spinning back kick at me. And in my mind, it's like, it's funny because I know that it happens. Like, if you're in a fight, if you're in a sparring session, I guarantee it. One person throws, like, any type of fancy kick, I guarantee you within the first 5 seconds, the other guy's going to do either the same exact kick or a different type of fancy kick. It's like,
it's trying to, like, match you?
Just, like, one-up them.
Exactly. Like, someone throws an axe kick in sparring, all right, the next guy's going to throw an axe kick. Like, if I throw a spinning back kick, I guarantee you if the other guy knows how to do it, he's going to try to do it. It's just like, it's almost like
human nature.
Yeah, they try to get it back.
Even in like jiu-jitsu, when we like warm up with takedowns, like
if someone gets you with something, you're gonna try to
somebody
get it
else
back.
does a double.
It's like, I can do it better than you.
Outside single.
Exactly.
Do you think that's because they're trying to do it better? Or you think they don't know what to do next?
Maybe
a little bit of both.
Yeah, maybe it's like, oh, hey, good idea, or maybe, like, hey, look, I can do it better than you.
Oh, okay.
And that was my mindset. Like, he threw a spinning back kick miss, and I was like, hey, yeah, fuck, that was shit. Watch this. So I do like a setup, like hook low kick, spinning back kick. But again, like the way I plant my feet and spin, I can't do that fully because if I don't have footing, it's gonna. I don't want to slip. So it was. I had to be a lot more careful with shit.
And what was up with him catching your kicks? You're not allowed to catch a kick in kickboxing.
No, you're allowed to, but I have different different pros and cons of catching kicks. Like, I don't teach anybody to catch kicks. Especially, I don't know. Like, if you see it coming from a mile away, I was just talking to Sergio about this yesterday, actually. If you see it coming from a mile away and you could, like, dart away from it, so, like, say a left kick is coming at my right side. If I dart to my left, so I'm, like, moving away from where the kick's coming, you can catch it and counter, like, punch them, sweep them, whatever. But
sweeps are legal, too, in kickboxing.
Yeah, you could, I don't know about, and Muay Thai definitely. I'm not even sure about kickboxing,
Okay.
but I mean, you can catch a leg and kick their leg out. Like
In those K1 rules, the sweep is illegal.
It is.
It's illegal?
Illegal. You're allowed to catch the kick
And throw like a punch or something. I
yeah, you're
think.
allowed like one strike before you're supposed to.
Yeah, you're not allowed. You're definitely not allowed to like drive. Like I could catch their kick and like kick their leg out, and like I guess that'll count as a sweep. But you're not supposed to be like foot and hand twirling people like how you see in Muay Thai.
You just brought up Pacquiao. I just looked this up. He blamed
His shoulder?
leg cramps for lack of movement and said after the fight he's considering retirement.
Wow.
Damn.
I mean, he's 42.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. He's
How many
been
fights does he have?
He's been at it for a while, dude.
Long time, man. He's been fighting for almost 3 decades.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
3 decades, bro.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It says, during the post-fight press conference, the 42-year-old Pac-Man broached the idea of possibly calling it a career after 26 years of professional competition. So, yeah, almost.
That's crazy.
I would have pushed it 4 more years. Just so I could say I was in there for 3 decades, bro.
So, Rick, when did you get into jiu-jitsu?
I mean, I did judo at first with this guy, the Master Kim. I did judo for a little while, so I like that because the throws, like, they're exciting. And I knew like basic ground stuff. Like he never showed us a triangle choke, but I knew how to do like arm bars, like kimuras, like an omoplata. Before I even knew what that was, I taught it to myself because I was like, I fucked up on a triangle one time, and I would just like catch it over and do it. And I thought I invented it before I actually like, realized what the fuck was good.
Rick's like, I was made for this shit. I was made for this shit.
Exactly. And then when I started doing MMA, we always did a little like no-gi jiu-jitsu at the gym, but it was never like real jiu-jitsu. Like it wasn't like full-on classes. Realized that I needed that. Started going to DRCs for a little bit when it was in upstairs of Finest. Learned a lot there in a short period of time, like 3 months, 4 months. Then stopped. I guess just because I've always focused on kickboxing more. And then when East West moved into the basement of Kyoto and Port Jeff, I was just like free during the day for most of the time, so I was doing a lot of privates with Master Mansour, me, Costa, this kid Jake, Jason Alcott. So I was doing that for, I would say, like a year straight, and like we were taking classes, doing privates with him, and I guess total, like not, it wasn't like steady mat time, but overall I would say I was a white belt, like training wise, for maybe like 2 years, like that much mat time as a white belt, but it was also like. I wrestled a little bit. I always did
basically
the
on the
shit.
same.
Like I could murder any white belt. Like just I don't
Any
know.
white belt. You hear that, Terrence?
Not the people's white belt.
with a torn labrum, I'll choke you out like this.
Yo, Terrence, at the wedding last night, Potts was there.
That was ridiculous. I'm happy you brought that up because my friend messaged me about it. He was
Wait,
saying
whoa.
yo, actually, I regretted that. I got brought up. Now it's.
I'm
See,
looking
we were
forward
kidding-
to
we were-
rolling with you again.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing that out.
Luigi was kidding before, and now it just got personal.
Yeah.
The fact he just dropped.
I
that
was
news.
joking around before, but now.
Now he's legitimately upset. But yeah, he was saying he's gonna walk. He's like, oh, who is he? Like, first of all, he's so shot. He thought he was like. He thought he was one of the Mendez brothers, and I'm like, no, they live in California.
Wait.
He's like, yeah, it's 2 brothers that own the gym.
I wasn't even gonna get into this, but it's worth talking about. Tell what you're talking about, because I was there for it. But give the background.
Potts comes up to me and like he's been ever since he found out I started training. He wants me to come like train with him at like Monster or whatever. I'm like, dude, you can come by me if you want. And like I haven't linked up.
No,
like,
we can't.
He was saying because we did that like joke thing. Like Nick had the party back in the summer and you guys put like a purple belt on me because I said to Potts, I was like, I told him I was like signing up and he goes, oh, there's a white belt class at Monster, like beginner class, and I'm like, white belt. I'm like, they told me that like I'm coming in as a purple belt, dude, and he took like offense to that and like he was like messaging like fucking he was messaging you like he put us in a group text saying that like he had to like teach me a lesson and like all this shit and I'm like, dude, I'm just fucking around.
And prior to that, he was like, I think he was actually upset because he was like, yo, I've known T-Car for 10 years. I've been trying to get him to train the last 5. All of a sudden he meets you, now he's training. I'm like,
Yeah, you ain't cool, bro.
like what? Just be happy the guy's training. Who cares? And so then the whole purple belt thing happened, and he was like,
some people need to be taught a lesson and like I've been doing this for 8-9 years and all this shit. But anyway, Danny Stofey, like the owner of Breathe, and like head instructor over there, he was at the wedding last night, and Potts was saying how he's like, oh, where is he? He's like, yeah, I know him. It's like two brothers that run the gym, like the Mendez brothers or whatever. I'm like, no, like that's who he got his black belt from, but they're in fucking California.
Yeah, that's AOJ, you idiot.
And he was saying that he was gonna walk. He was saying he was gonna walk up to him and tell him he was gonna like heel hook him or some shit. And he was like, he's such an idiot. I'm like, Potts, don't do that.
Yeah, so he winds up going over.
He did go over to him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I missed that.
Yeah. We were sitting down. It was towards the end of the night.
Came right up to him.
He walked up to me, talked with me briefly. Danny was sitting to the left of me, and he's like, yo, so who's the owner of Breathe? And I'm like, this guy right here. And Potts like, oh, so I talk a lot of shit, and, I'm a troll. I troll people, and I talk shit to Terrence, so I told him I was going to talk shit to you. And I'm like, oh, my God. And Danny's just like, cool. And he's like, yeah, I train. I'm a brown belt over at Monster. Derek Manji's like, I know you're good. You got like a Pan Am title, whatever. He's like, but I was telling Terrence, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna come over here and put you in a leg entry, and So later when we find Terrence, we're gonna make it look like I was just talking mad shit to you. And Danny was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Potts is a fucking.
awkward.
It was cringy,
retard.
bro. Very cringy.
That boy tries too hard, man. Even that day he came in here when we were doing our podcast.
Oh my God.
Was it the podcast? Yeah, he
Yeah.
comes in, starts recording everybody, calling us all out.
Has he trained at all? Like since like the pandemic? Like
I have no idea.
have you asked him about that?
Not
I
really.
haven't seen him there.
He hasn't, and
Probably
you're
a year
you're
and a
old, so he probably hasn't been there if you haven't seen him because you're there like every day.
I just don't understand why he was bothered by the fact that you met us and started training. You know
Yeah,
what
I don't.
mean?
I feel like
who
everyone
cares?
else is so happy. Like when Eddie was he was talking about me. He's like, I just want you to do jiu-jitsu. Like he's like, you try out a bunch of gyms and like wherever you want to go. Like you don't have to sign up with us. I just want you to like start doing it.
I feel people get weird about that. Like, there was a guy who came and started training with us at Freedom, and then he went over to another school, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Dude, I don't like as long as you're training. That's really at the end of the day, like that's what really matters. Like, yeah, would I rather have you come down to like, yeah, but as long as you're still training, like, good for you. Like, you don't gotta be sorry, like."
I feel like that mentality is everywhere in jiu-jitsu except with Potts.
Yeah, if the shoe doesn't fit, don't fit.
A lot of people do get weird. They get like, I feel like especially the more traditional and like old school they are, the more like they're like all loyalty. Like you need to only train with us, this and that. But I think you have to have an open mind. Like you got to see what works best. You can't it's good to. You definitely need a home base. Like don't get me wrong, you can't be like a gym hopper. Like nobody likes those people. You're not gonna get better that way. But it's definitely good to cross train and go other places. And like if you're
because you learn different philosophies.
Yeah, and if you like say you haven't found that home base yet, like, or maybe you did, you don't realize that. Like you need to. I'm not saying you need to go out and experience things, but if you do, like so be it. Like I'm totally okay with someone coming to the gym for a month or two, training, and then they're like, oh, like my work schedule, I'm gonna go try this place out. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. Like if you ever want to come back, we'll restart your membership, no big deal. And I would say 75-80% of the time, I'll correct that. Like, if they continue to still train, then 75-80% of the time they'll end up coming back. They'll leave the other gym and like, wow, we didn't realize this is different.
I feel like you also have a good product that you put out. That's
I was just
why
about to say
you're
that.
okay with that.
Yeah, you have to be.
Other
Yeah, you have to
people
be
who
confident.
don't, who like don't have such a, aren't great teachers, or their gym isn't really, as good as other gyms like around. Those generally are the people who are like, yeah, don't go to that gym. It's not really that good or whatever.
They know people are gonna realize like, oh
Right.
shit, this is how like this is real. Like this
Right.
is actually how it's supposed to be. Like
Yeah.
that's like my favorite thing I've had. People like come down, been training for a while, come down to the gym, take a couple classes, not bad, and then spar. And it's just like something out of a movie. You can't wake it up. It's like, oh, so how's it going? Everything's fun, right? It's like shit is real. Like this is fucking real life. And I'm like, yeah, it's different.
This shit is real, bro.
But yeah, hilarious, great kid.
Yeah, but I think Remy hit it on the head though. It's so true, and especially people.
Good product, yeah. Confident.
Good product, confident. Because there's a lot of people out there that bullshit people.
Yeah.
You got bullshit gyms, bullshit instructors. And they're just like off the seam of their pants. They're just like, okay, we're gonna teach this, or I'm gonna look this up to teach it today. Like they might not even know it. They might just like fucking YouTube it.
Yeah. But also gyms fit different people, like
Of course.
like Freedom and Breathe, for example, right? Completely different gyms, and I feel like completely different people go there.
Yeah, definitely the type of people definitely change from spot
Wait,
to spot.
going back to Nick, you're not supposed to look up shit on YouTube before you teach it?
No, fuck no, bro. Fuck. That's a big no-no, bro.
I've been doing it wrong the whole time. I just Google what should I teach today.
That's a big no-no.
Luigi doesn't go to YouTube. He goes to Pornhub.
Pornhub.
Let's see what kind of finger stuff we can get into today.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as
It's a mix of both.
I feel like someone has to, like, if you're teaching something, you have to be able to explain it, like, fully.
Yeah.
Like, you need to know how to do something, 100%, but 75%, 50%, 10%. Like, if you don't know how to do something in slow motion, do you really know how to do it?
And I feel like you should also know variations.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what if somebody can't do that?
And you have to be able to answer questions. Like, if I teach, like, I've had people come to me, like, oh, like, they don't know, they've never trained before, maybe like a month or two, and they'll tell me that. Like, yeah, I know, like, I don't know shit, but what that guy was showing me, like, didn't make sense. Like, and that was fucking weird. It's like, I wouldn't feel comfortable teaching anything in a class if someone asked me a question, like, oh, why do I do this? And I'm just like, I don't know. You just do it.
So one of the best things I've ever learned for coaching, one of like my mentorship programs I went through was that there's 3 types of people. There's who, there's how, there's what, and there's why people, right? So if people usually just want to know how to do it, right? You just tell them how to do it and they'll go and do it. People want to know like what specifically to do. You tell them what to do and they'll go and do it. And then there's the people who are always like, well, why are we doing this? And like for me, when I'm coaching, I like every single exercise that I, give to a person, in the back of my mind, I'm like, all right, this is going to be a why person. So now I have to know why they're going to do this, because God forbid they ask me, like, I have to know that, I don't want to be like, oh, well, just doing it.
As a coach, you should have
Just
those
doing
answers.
it.
Yeah.
You should have those answers.
Yeah.
If you don't know the how, the why, and what was the third one?
What?
The what?
What?
Then you shouldn't be teaching that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And it's funny that you said, because me and Rick literally just had this conversation Friday night. You said exactly what he just said.
Yeah.
And
Great minds think alike.
let's not get crazy.
Do be facts.
I also feel like teaching the concept is humongous too, because if I'm new and I get shown a triangle, it's like, cool, I know what a triangle is now. I know how to move my body to do it, but I don't know
When do you use
when
it?
to use it, why to use it, why
When
it's
not to use
effective.
it.
Yeah, like if you can't build the concept around those techniques, I feel like people are going to struggle. At least for me personally, I know I need the concept.
You're gonna be just teaching moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Danny the other day about this, and exactly the same thing. Like I personally like to teach similar to you. Like I teach like concepts or philosophies, right? Like in fitness, like, I'm not just going to teach you how to squat and how to do this and how to do that, because then when I'm not here, what are you going to do? Just squat or just deadlift? Like, you don't know any context. Like, how many times should I do it? Like, should I do it 5 times or should I do it, 15 sets?
What is it working out?
Right. Exactly. So like, I like to teach like more philosophy based things, like, like.
Yeah, so they learn along the way. as
Right.
you're doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't like, even same thing when I just personal train people with just weights and calisthenics, stuff like that. I don't want them to just come, I do that, you do this, you do this, you do this, and then you leave. Like,
Right.
I need them to know why they're doing it and like how to do it correctly. Like,
Yeah.
I want you to be able to do the same workouts that if you can't make it next week, okay, you could do this shit at home. Or
Yeah,
like you could
exactly.
do it, you could come here and I'm not here and you could handle it yourself. Like,
I tell all my students, especially beginners, I need to arm you with the information where you understand it and I can build self-correcting mechanisms into you.
Yeah.
Like where now you know what it feels like correct, so that you can also know what it feels like incorrect, so you can execute something and go, okay, my feet were too close, or my chin was up, or I didn't move my hip this way. If you can have somebody leave a session like that where they know that, I think that's when you really did your job, because that's when, for me anyway, I got the most improvement, when I could feel like, I did that
you're
wrong.
doing wrong.
Yeah.
And now I can work on it myself and build it better and build it better. If you do that, I think that's really when people understand what they're doing.
that's like especially with new people I train, that's like the breakthrough point. I like that. Is that an IT term? Self-correcting mechanisms?
No.
I like that.
But that's
when I know that people are getting it. It's
Yeah.
like whether it's 1-2 and okay, that's a jab and a cross. It's their left hand, their right hand, or like they're bringing their hand up or they're leaning forwards. If they have some bad habit that I'm trying to break, and different people learn different ways. So like the same way I could explain it to you doesn't make sense for him. I have to word it differently. I have to word it differently for you. So, but once I see that, like, even if they fuck up, I see the look in their face. I'm like, hey, you knew that you did that wrong,
Right,
and you
that's
know
better
now
than-
you know why. Yeah, like
Then they know.
Yeah, back to those like the what you said, who,
What?
why. Yeah, like
What, why, and how.
I like to. I was telling D-Rack, I like to do like all of the questions, like whether
Yeah.
it's fighting or coaching, anything. Like you have to be able to answer like what are all the question words? Who, what, when, where, why, how. Like you need to know all of those at all times. Like
Yep.
when you break it down like fucking piece by piece, it sounds like overwhelming. It sounds like a lot, but half of it just becomes autopilot. And then like you said, the self-correcting mechanisms. If like a car's driving and one tire like dips down, you start like leaning to the right, you're gonna realize, oh shit, you gotta fix that. Like, but all right, so the who and the what I would say is, I guess as far as fighting, like who and what, like who is where your target is, where you're supposed to be looking and facing, and what, like what are you gonna do? So I think that involves like your target, your footwork, your balance, all that shit could be wrapped up into the who and the what, because that's like basic. That's footwork, like where you're looking, how's your balance, how's your feet, how's your stance, and according to where you're supposed to be looking, because you could have a good stance, but if you're facing the wrong way, it's shit. So who and what I think goes together. Who, what, how is, so I would, in like the way of teaching people like how to strike, I guess, how to do kickboxing, you could do it, you could follow this or something along this. Who and the what, so that's footwork and recognizing where your target is, your range, all that type of shit. That's played in. That's just a part of you. Then the how, like how to throw punches, how to throw kicks, how to do that, how to keep your balance, like how to move your feet correctly. Who, what, when and where, I would say is
We're
like
all struggling with the who,
Yeah.
the what.
yeah. When and where, I guess it would be like whether it comes to where you're trying to hit the person, like head, body, legs, like when and with the timing involved with all that stuff, like maybe that like setting stuff up. So
When to use
right.
the techniques,
yeah,
maybe.
when do I throw a body shot? Like a 1, 2, 3 up top. All right, dig the body, or like look low, kick high. So all that shit could be in there. And then why, like if people ask like, all right, why? Like that's why I'll teach a technique. I'll demonstrate it, break it down slowly, teach it, and then after I notice Carlos Enrique, he teaches the same way. Like he'll build up off the technique the entire class, and like I would say 75% through the class, like right before that last 25%, after you do everything, then he'll put it all together and show you like why did we just go through this whole sequence,
Yeah.
why it works, and like and it's
Yeah,
like, oh
like chain-
shit, like that,
chain
that makes a lot
training.
of sense, because
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes if you try to fast forward and like do everything up at once, they're gonna like make their own assumptions about shit, and people do it wrong. Just like people take like what you say wrong sometimes, like oh, this is what I have to do. This is how this must be how I have to do it. So instead, I'll break it down slowly, piece by piece by piece.
Yeah, to be very
Maybe-
clear.
Yeah, maybe it won't make too much sense, and then when you put it all together, and then I do it, I demonstrate like why it happens or something. They're like, oh wow, that fucking makes a lot of sense, and that clicks. And
Yep.
then you already know how to do it. You already know like what you're doing, and now you know why. And it's like you could apply it.
There's another benefit to that, because I like to teach that way too. Like I'll start with if I'm doing the MMA class, and I'm starting with a combination into a takedown, or a combination into a kick and then into a takedown. I'll start. It's like, all right, we're gonna start 1, 1, 2, and it's like we'll do that, and then I'm like, all right, we're gonna add to this.
Yep.
You constantly build off that, and I notice the more I do that, the more people start to be like connecting the dots for themselves a little bit as well. Like you'll see the students be like, oh, okay, I can see the next piece to this, and
Yes.
they'll grab me like, oh, I was thinking about this. It's like, yeah, I was going to get to that. We're going to build to that, and I think it helps them wrap their mind around the concept and then get creative themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe they
exactly.
see like, oh, hey, I could do this. Like, yeah, you could do that.
Yep.
That's another chain to it, you know.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it enables them to connect those dots, and then
Keep going.
yeah, and add in their own thing too. Because like me and Rick, we talked about this. I'm not trying to make people fight like me. Yeah, I want you to be you. So it's like I'm giving you the tools also to now make this thing your own.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal.
I feel
kinda
like
give-
I feel like teaching like that, like it paints a picture. Like when I used to teach jits, it was the same way. Like I would start off with, like we'll just say like a butterfly sweep. You know, going from guard to butterfly, we would drill that. Then we would add on to the sweep. Then we'd add on to the mount. Then we'd add on to the finish. And it's like you're putting all these pieces together and you're painting a bigger picture. You know, instead of just showing them, all right, so we're going to throw a jab to a takedown, or we're going to do a sweep and then that's it. Like you're allowing to paint a picture, and then these people get comfortable, and then they're able to build on it. Maybe they don't do the sweep in the live roll the way they did it. Maybe they don't go to mount. Maybe they go to side control. But you're putting this picture together so they can see the end result instead of just being like, here's a move, here's a takedown, here's a punch.
Yeah, you got to build that foundation. Like it's like building a house. You can't show them the roof, the window. You can't put a window in before you put a foundation in the walls.
Exactly. Yep.
You got to
It's all
build
about
up to that.
foundation. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with striking, I like letting people get creative as long as they're doing something that makes sense and something that like I've shown them. We've talked about it before. I let them get creative. Say something like jab cross and then you roll under. So it's like if I'm right, it's left, right, roll under to my right, and then whatever you want to do after. And as long as like there's no wrong punch necessarily at that time, as long as you have your feet in the right spot, depending on where the opponent is, what's open. Like I could 1-2 roll under, throw a cross, 1-2 roll under, throw a jab, 1-2 roll under, throw a kick. Like so I'll show people like the same setup, but you could have like infinite like follow-ups to that same setup.
You're building
every
the
time.
branches for them.
Exactly. Yeah. And then even like going back and forth, like with the transitions, like turn their shoulders, like it could be left, right, left, turn left, right, and right, left, right. Like it's hard to say it, but physically showing it.
As you're saying
easy.
that,
So
I'm
it's
having
like,
flashbacks to in the gym with you when you're explaining.
it could be any combination of punches and kicks.
Rick's
you wanna
very
do.
rhythm
You just
based.
like turning your shoulders. Like
Well, it is. It's kind of like a dance, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like
definitely,
even
yeah.
like your shoulder movement. It's like I feel like some fighters are pretty good dancers.
Yo, if you're very rhythm based, you should look into getting those the RMT ropes. You ever see the ropes that I swing?
Remy loves
it's
these
like
things.
a giant jump rope, right?
Yeah, I have them in my truck, but I'll show you after.
On the dance floor last
Dude,
night, he
dance
was
floor
doing
was
it.
helping me.
Wait, don't you have them? Those ropes?
No.
Isn't that what you like pulled that machine down that one day?
No, you're talking about the
those are inertial.
the
weight
inertial
things.
weights.
Yeah, I have one that's like I'm not sure if we still have it, but it's like maybe an 8 or 9 foot, like looks like a battle rope, jump rope. Like it's huge, it's heavy, but
Yeah.
the motion that you do when you're doing that shit, like as I'm jumping rope, if you go not if you crisscross, but if you go from side to side, it's like you do that. So I
Figure
do
eight.
that normally. Yeah, like
Yeah.
as I'm jumping rope sometimes, or say if I'm getting started, I'll just do the rope a couple times and then get my feet moving. But yeah, it's that same motion. It's like a good shoulder warm up motion.
Yeah.
Totally off subject, but do we have a question of the day today?
I think Mel might have been working on one later. Yesterday.
What were we just talking about though before
We
this?
were talking about Remy dancing on the dance floor like he was using the fucking ropes.
Rhythm bass. Yeah, Alexa actually sent me a video of my last fight, like before I fought.
Shadowboxing?
Yeah,
Dude,
Van Halen song Jump was playing, and like I just was getting in the zone. I'm like
Yeah.
shadowbox. I'm just throwing like a punch at a
That
time.
was so
but
funny.
It really looks like I'm just like sitting up there fucking like dancing in front of everybody. But
it was
no,
so
I'm, like,
amazing too
rolling my
because all
shoulders.
the like the lights, it looked like you were in a 1980s
Yeah.
like, fucking dance
Yeah.
video.
Yo, it was funny. Like last night, like talking about dancing, we were at Terrence's wedding, and like all the girls are out there.
They weren't.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, not everybody here.
Not everybody. That's true. That's true. My bad. But
Make sure when you name my guest appearance, it's gonna be chopped liver.
I actually now I want to get married just so I can invite everybody but Terrence.
oh my god. But yo, all these girls are out there dancing in the rain, man, and I'm like, they got it easy. Like girls could just like jump around, swing their fucking hair, and like they look good. We're all out there trying to dance and shit, looking clunky, trying to do the 1-2 step, moving our shoulders.
I gotta say though, like just from working at the bar and all that for all these years, white people don't know how to dance.
Dude, some
They
white
do
people-
the same. Some no, not all of them. 99.5% of them don't know how to dance.
You ever see a
because
Spanish guy dance?
they know
Oh,
how to
we
dance.
saw one
Most of them
last
know how to
night.
dance.
They do the same fucking 2-step, bro. They just move their hips.
No, well, like Colombian guys know how they do like the salsa, whatever the fuck that thing is.
Yeah, that's the same
But-
fucking moves over and over again. Yeah. They shake their fucking hips, roll their shoulders. They look at you with those eyes, bro.
Well, give him the breakdown.
It's better than the white guy just stomping his feet back and forth. Like, dude, it's the same. I just watch it. It's the same fucking thing, and it doesn't matter. Like it's a different person. It's the same fucking.
But that's what I'm
movement.
saying, though. So guys got it hard on the dance floor. Girls probably do the same fucking moves, but you don't mind it because they're girls. It
They're
looks
It's just
good.
they got
Yes.
curves and
They
ass
got-
and titties bouncing
Yeah.
around, so you get mesmerized by that.
Exactly.
We don't got that.
No, that's what I was thinking last night. I'm like, damn, man, like we're all trying to dance out here, and these girls are doing the same old jumping, moving their hair and shit, and you're like, damn, Maybe I should grow my hair out so I look good on the dance floor or something.
Dudes have 2 moves, like that 2-step stomp the floor, and then it's like you get close enough, you just start grinding. That's it. It's like, all right, have we got past this part yet? Let's grind.
All right, we're back to the grind.
Let's grind. Or then it's like, you know, the typical step back, sing the song lyrics to the person. Like,
Yes.
It's like,
Or
I don't know where to move in this point, so I'm just going to sing to you.
Yes.
You got the point.
Yeah, the point's a good one. Or you just play the wall like graffiti. You just chill.
Well, Nick's got a pretty good system.
This dude was dancing all night.
No, but tell him the system, the Nick system.
The Nick system, yeah.
Yo, it don't really matter what's going on with your feet. It's all about the face, bro. As long as your face is having a good time, downstairs doesn't matter. It's the truth. It works, bro. It fucking works.
Yo, I gotta say, Terrence, you guys did a really good job last night. The place looked awesome, and I feel like if it was any other people, if it wasn't you and Taylor,
it would have been ruined.
I think but because you guys have such a good attitude about it, like it started pouring, you're like, fuck it, we're going out and we're fucking dancing in the rain anyway, and then everybody else came out, and it made the night better because you guys just had a good attitude about it, and especially like everything you guys went through, man, from fucking COVID, having to get it delayed, you had to do the small little ceremony, and then I know you guys like put deposits down places, and then like now you finally like, all right, we got this plan, we're gonna make it happen, and then it's like
pours rain.
There's a fucking hurricane. Like, what else could go wrong? But you guys fucking soldiered through that shit.
Yo, it was man funny because we walked into the backyard last night, and there was like a tarp down. I'm like, I'm like, this motherfucker got a slip and slide. I'm like, and then Bree's like, no, it's a fucking dance floor. I'm like,
oh, the tarp was over the dance floor.
Yeah, it was over the dance floor. I'm like, Terrence would get a slip and slide.
The funny shit was Lisa jumping in the pool last night.
Yeah, that was awesome. She came up to me. She was like, "Is the pool off limits?" I'm like, "Nah, you could hop in if you want." Everyone was soaked anyway. Like, what difference does it really make at that point? Except you. Nick was on the dance floor for like hours. Everyone looks like wet rats, and this dude looks like he's dry. Like he just got fresh. Like
dude, I was a '70s cop from Miami,
That's because me and Nick waited to the prime opportunity to go in right after the rain stopped.
Yeah,
no,
for
I'll
sure.
tell you why Nick stayed cool all night, because one of his dance moves was it's a little hot. So Nick was just venting himself out all night. Just he was able to dance, but you didn't realize he was actually cooling himself off the whole time.
Yeah, so everybody's fucking soaking wet from the rain. Lisa's dancing her ass off. All the girls are dancing. They've been dancing for an hour. I go over to the table to grab like a little lipper, and all of a sudden I hear like, "Oh, Lisa's in the pool." I look over. Some other dude jumps in after Lisa. I hear some dude fucking curse. I thought Lisa like passed out and fell in the pool. I didn't even see her jump in. I'm like, oh man, she's down bad. So I start walking over, and the guy's like, get the fuck out of the pool. Nobody in the fucking pool. Yeah, the fucking DJ.
The DJ.
So Lisa gets out, and she's fired up. She's like, I'm gonna go fucking tell this motherfucker off. I'm like, chill, we're at the wedding. Like, behavior. She's like, fuck that, I'm gonna tell him off. I'm like, wait till the end. So the end came, and she's like, I'm gonna go tell this motherfucker. I'm gonna ask for a business card, and then I'm gonna tell him, yeah, I'm asking for this business card so I can tell everybody that you fucking suck. And I'm like, no, let's go. Let's fucking go.
The DJ was down bad all night, though, dude.
Yeah.
Taylor
Oh my
was
God.
not happy with that guy.
That DJ was kind of trash.
She was not happy.
Yeah, she was upset with a lot of stuff. We had like extra tables, and she just wanted them like off to the side. She didn't want them set up. They set them up anyway, so there was like random tables, not even
so
under
you
the tent.
had more room. All right. You just keeps getting better. Thanks.
You keep digging yourself in a hole.
Yeah, I'd rather have a totally empty wedding than have Luigi there.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. That's what he's implying.
Damn.
Yeah, Taylor was pissed, man. And I didn't know this because Alexa came on. She's like, do you notice that every time Taylor stops dancing? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? She's like, she gave the DJ a list, and every time he deviates from the list, she tells everybody to stop dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, she was getting upset with them. She said she wanted to be like kind of in like decade order. Like she didn't want to hear something like a brand new song with like something from like the 60s, like back to back. She wanted to kind of like and then they put on country, bro. She flipped out. They put on some country song. She ran up and she's like, no country, and made him like stop the song like right away. I'm like,
I mean, like seriously, like how hard is it to be a DJ? I mean, like really, like you get a list, You play the fucking songs.
And then if someone
Apparently
comes up
they
to
suck
you,
all the time. They can't even play our walkout fucking music. So it's real hard to be a goddamn DJ.
yeah, I guess you're right.
and if someone comes up to you and requests a song, just fucking play it. Like the people are dancing. Like if that's what they want to hear, play it. So
Yeah,
it's gonna get the people going.
Didn't the DJ say no? We're not playing that song like several times.
Yo, M went up to him last night and was like, "Hey, can we get?" And he's like, "No." She's like, "What do you mean? That's your fucking job." Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, you're getting paid to work an event. Like
Yeah.
it's not like you're hosting a party and you're the
right?
DJ.
It's not
you
like
get
a
to
private
pick.
event. Like,
and not for nothing,
Fucking
man.
wedding.
Like all they had to do was play music. It wasn't even like the guy was like on the mic. Like I've been to weddings before where like
Yeah.
he's on the dance floor. Like you know,
that should have been you last
I
night.
should have, man.
You should have grabbed the
I
mic.
should have grabbed the mic.
There's a DJ at the casino who's the worst DJ of all time. Like literally,
Worse than the guy last night.
dude, this guy, people come to ask him for songs. He curses at them. He tells them to go fuck themselves. They all hate him. They all come up. They're like, this fucking DJ sucks.
The angry DJ.
There'll be 150 people in the bar. He comes on. 20 minutes later, there's 80 people. People just leave because of this guy. Like, he's so bad.
And they keep booking him.
Yeah, I don't understand, dude. And it's like you said, you have one job, man. Play what people want. Like, I get like that you take DJing as like this art and you think you know what
best.
songs are gonna like move the crowd, but like clearly
not.
yeah, clearly not. People like want to dance to what they want to dance to. Just fucking play the song.
There's been times where people have requested a song, he refuses to play it, and as soon as he's done playing, they put the music from behind the bar on. The people request a song from the bar. They're like, hey, can you? They're like, no problem. So they throw it on the iPad, whatever. More people dance from the iPad than like they're on a dance
That's
floor
so funny.
than when the DJ's on.
I've seen him be spiteful where people will ask for like a song or be like, hey, can you play hip hop or whatever? And then he'll play country music or slow shit just to be a prick. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, do you hate money?
I can't believe they keep booking this guy.
Yeah, what?
For fucking 10 years.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's
T-Rock's face was like so disgusted.
It's great. Yo, because sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm working, and I'm like, I'm up on like the DJ booth, like ledge or whatever, so I can see over, and people come up to me and they think I'm the fucking DJ. And they're like, yo, can I request a song? Blah, blah. I'm like, yo, I'm not the DJ. They're like, well, this fucking guy sucks. I'm like,
Damn.
well, can I request a song? I'm like, at your own peril, man. Go ahead.
go ahead and try, but he's not going to listen.
Good luck.
I gotta say that DJ last night, he got so pissed at that kid jumping in the pool. But it's like, who the fuck is the idiot who set up right next to a pool? Like
Yeah.
everybody's drinking at a wedding. What do you fucking think's
Yeah.
gonna happen?
And that wasn't a kid. That was one of the servers.
Oh, really?
He was one of the guys working the wedding. Yeah, he's like, yo, they both climb out of the pool. The DJ's so pissed. He's like wiping his like equipment off, and he's just like, yo, it looked like a good idea. He's like, so I just followed your lead. And Lisa's like, yeah, fuck yeah. Gave him a high five and shit.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yo, that food was fire. Husk and Vine was fire.
oh yeah,
Shout out.
the food was mad good.
Yeah.
The cheese, the salami, some of those fucking salads were good, dude.
Yeah. Real good.
I didn't eat like any of it, and neither did Taylor. That's probably
No.
how she ended up in the situation
Yeah.
she found herself in.
I'm happy about that.
Yo, fucking, at the end of the night, they were bringing the cake out, and one of the servers comes over. They had the rainbow cake. I'm not a big fan of the rainbow cookie or cake or whatever, so she's like, she goes to offer me a piece of cake. I'm like, oh, no, thank you. I'm like, oh, no, thank you. She goes, stop it. You're too in shape. Have some fucking cake. I was like, oh, no. I was like, I just don't like the rainbow cake. She's like, you don't like rainbow cake? She's like, this is even fucking worse. What's wrong with you? I was like,
Damn, where
Jesus
did we find these people? We just found a bunch of rotten people.
No, she was
just
laughing
trying to be
about
funny,
it.
trying
Yeah,
to be
she was
funny.
having a good time, but I was just like, damn, this lady just got at me.
Vicious.
She did just get at you.
Yeah.
It's like she made the rainbow cake. Like she took it to heart.
Yeah, she's like, you don't like rainbow cake? That's even worse.
Yo,
Holy shit.
And then, good thing I found Eddie at the end because fucking M made that cake again. Fire. That, crispy.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Good call, Rick. Good call.
That gluten-free lemon blueberry.
I was not told about this.
Yeah,
All I was offered was rainbow cake, and I got chastised.
No,
for it.
she made a cake. I thought she brought it in here one night.
Yeah, Febreze.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was at the wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed that.
Yo, some
was
of the
good.
food was still sitting
Me
out,
too. I
man.
would have enjoyed that if I was invited.
Yeah, me and Rick definitely would have enjoyed any of it. Thanks, Taylor. Terrence.
No, blame Taylor. Don't blame Terrence.
No, I'm not blaming Taylor for any of this. I'm blaming you.
Okay.
Taylor's gonna wake up today feeling like she got into a fist fight though.
Yo, Taylor was fucking hilarious. So there was one point in time where she was dancing, and I seen her fall down, and she slipped right onto her ass. fell, looked around, and just kept dancing from her butt.
Just
kept going. I was like,
right into it, smooth.
Yeah.
She did.
She was down bad last night.
Yeah.
Was she face plant?
Yeah, how did she fall?
I miss it, but then like they came and got me, and yeah, she slipped and like she caught like kind of like the side of the head of her eye. She's not like really like lumped up or anything. It was a little cut, but it was like bleeding a little
Yeah.
bit.
No shiner?
Nah, no shiner.
Good.
She'll never forget this night, though.
Certainly
Never.
not.
Or she might not
Remember any
this
of it?
night.
There's that, too.
And you guys catch the UFC fights last night? I know we came back for the Pacquiao, but we had the co-main and the main event.
I think we all bounced before the main event.
I sat here by myself and watched them.
Won.
So you had Kevin Gastelum, he lost,
I figured.
and so did Clay Guida.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Dude, Rick and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I didn't realize that Stylebender had like 80 pro kickboxing fights before he even got into MMA.
80 pro?
He has 80 pro fights. He was 32-0
maybe
as an
even more.
amateur, and then he was 75-5 as a pro kickboxer.
Holy shit.
Bro, he's my age. He's 32. So that dude has so many. How often are you fighting that you?
Where
have
did he
that
Where
many
did he grow
fights?
up? Do we know where he grew up?
New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand.
Wow. So he's probably fighting young.
Yeah, Rick said that he's been a big because he's really into kickboxing. He said he was a big fan of his like for years. Like he followed him like before he even got into UFC.
Yeah, way for years. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
So
still
much
like
so
him a
that,
lot.
like, I feel like, I think you, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you told me this. You knew who he was before he got popular, and you started following him, and he followed you, right? Doesn't he follow you on Instagram? Like, before, like, he blew up and shit. You know,
yeah, he'll
like,
comment on my pictures of my dog
Yeah.
sometimes. Like, oh, like I remember my dog tattoo. He commented a picture on.
Oh, that's dope.
That's awesome.
But,
yeah, I bet you now that he's got the check and shit, he don't be following people.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm never gonna be a person that's like, oh my god, he's fucking following me. He liked my or he read my message. Oh my god, like.
Yeah.
But it is
Before
kind of
you- It is
it's
sti-
kind of cool
it-
for him to say like, hey, it's a cool fucking tattoo.
Is he still
yeah,
following
definitely
you
is
though?
pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's check that.
I
Because we're gonna call him out. We're gonna call him out if he fucking.
Yeah, call him.
not
Yeah, you got
follow-
his number. We'll call him right now. Get him on.
I
No,
wish-
we're gonna call him out. We're not gonna call him.
No, we're gonna call him, dude.
I don't even know how to see. I don't have that app or anything.
Oh, that's funny though.
You're just
Yeah, I
gonna
didn't
go
know.
click
I
his
didn't know he
followers.
had that many fights, man. That's pretty crazy.
No,
Right?
yeah, I've been a big fan of his
For
for
a young dude.
years. Like before he even got to glory. Like, yeah, like I always used to think I would like describe him to people as like a mix between John Jones and Anderson Silva, almost the way he looks. But yeah, he's real good. And then he made the switch to MMA. So
I mean, he's doing great.
yeah, so
Right.
far so good.
Is he undefeated except for going up in weight?
Correct. Yeah. Besides
He
that one.
actually, I've met him in Thailand. Like he used to train at Tiger. I guess he still does, but like a lot of those guys, like Brad, Kai, like he's really, he's one
So
of
he's
like the
huge,
most.
right?
He's big, but he's one of like the most like down to earth people. Like he'll sit there, talk to you, like hang out with you. I met him like 5 years ago before he got all popular and all that, and he was just like he was cool to hang out with.
That's
And,
dope.
and
Looks
also
like he
the,
unfollowed you, Rick.
oh, whatever. He's Hollywood now. But
Damn, that's
Rick-
fucked up.
Rick
bro.
posted the graphic of like Khabib and Aldo like side by side, like the breakdown, and it's pretty wild to see because like Khabib's like considered like the GOAT amongst a lot of people. Obviously, it's going to be debatable. No one's ever going to fully agree on it.
I think I think he was like talking shit about Aldo. I honestly didn't even hear what he said or read what he said, but I just saw it was going around in, like memes and stuff, and then I saw somebody else posted this one, and it's accurate. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty. It says the combined record of their first 16 opponents. Khabib's first 16 were 67-49. Aldo's were 114-41. So big difference. Title defenses. Khabib has 3. Aldo has 9. Fights against world champions. Khabib has 2. Aldo has 9. And then it says victories in other weight classes. Khabib has none, and Aldo has 2. So like Aldo, put some respect on his name.
Yeah, for real, dude. Yeah, and how old is Sal Bender? You said 32?
32. So yeah, he's already got over 100 professional fights. Like
Yeah, it's nuts.
that's insane.
Can you find out when he started his career?
That want to know professional or just amateur?
Oh, just in general, like when he started fighting. Because I mean, even amateur, if you're still getting banged up, dude.
He was fighting like every week, probably.
You think so? Was that consistent? Had to have been, right?
Gotta be. The guy's got over between MMA, his professional kickboxing, amateur career.
100 fights
He
easily.
he
Way
started
over.
trading at the age of
Adesanya,
18.
I think he actually just hit 100 wins.
Damn.
It was either 100 fights or 100 wins a couple events ago.
Well, he's got what? He's like 20-1 in MMA.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
the
has
only
the
fight he
one-
lost was that John.
Yeah.
When he went up,
That guy's a
Yeah.
monster.
So he was what 75-5, so that's 80
in kickboxing.
plus 20 MMA fights, 21 MMA fights. That's well over 100 fights. Then what? He had 30 amateurs. So you're talking he's almost had 150 fights.
yeah, that's crazy.
It's a lot.
How is he still fighting, man?
He started at the age of 18 too, so this has all happened in 14 years. He has all those fights.
What? Yeah,
That's yeah, that's like every week.
yeah.
Yeah, especially overseas, they fight a
insane.
lot. Yeah, like those the kids in Thailand, they fight to feed their families. Like every 2 weeks, they'll take fights.
Yeah, they're fighting all the time over there.
Yeah, so like by the time the kid's like 18 years old, they have 150 fights. Like,
That's so
it's
crazy.
fucking nuts.
It actually is pretty cool watching like the 5-year-olds and 8-year-olds like start fighting each other. Like the gloves are bigger than them,
Yeah.
and they're just like going after each other.
Yeah, some people have like mixed views on like children sparring and fighting. And then some people are like, yeah, it's fucked up, they shouldn't do it. And then other people are like, they don't have enough power to like hurt each other.
Yeah, it's their culture though. Like that's what they do there. You know what I mean? That's like us. That's like them coming over to us and telling us like shit that we're doing isn't right.
Yeah,
You know?
well,
like, it's just
yeah, regardless
different.
of their culture, if it's physically damaging to a person, you can't really.
Yeah, the kids, like you just said, the kids can't hit hard enough.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
to give it,
And the gloves are so big, they're not hitting. They're not really hitting.
Yeah, I don't
that
think they
hard.
can even generate that much power to
Yeah.
hurt each other.
and especially if they know what they're doing. Like if both kids know what they're doing, that's fine. If you put one kid who's been training since he was 3 and now he's 8 years old and he's sparring some kid who's never put gloves on in his life, it's just like an adult. It's fucked up. You shouldn't do that. It should be even skill.
Yeah, I think they do it that way.
Yeah.
Like the only fucked up part about it is that they're like Nick said, they're doing it to feed their family.
Mhm.
Like their family's not going to eat that week if they don't go and take that fight. Like
Yeah.
that's the only fucked up part of it.
Yeah, they have no choice. But that's why their kids are so much harder than our kids. Like, it's a meme that's been going around for years. It's kids in America, a little fat kid on a couch sitting down, eating snacks, watching TV. Kids in Thailand are out training, throwing 600 kicks a day. Well,
It's true.
you reap what you sow.
Well, necessity is the mother of all innovation, right? So, like, you're in Thailand and you don't have a lot of options, and you're 6 years old and you got to be, like, helping your family out. It's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it
How
is
are
what
these
it
how are
is.
these guys getting paid? Like by the organization? Is this like a job that they're doing? Do you guys know?
Usually the organization, like promotions will pay.
Just like how we get paid out here.
In Thailand, it's different because, like, everybody, like, Rick, Bukau, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bukau, that's not his real name. That's the name of his gym. So in Thailand, these fighters take the names of their gyms, and I think they fight and get paid through the gym. So I think the gym sets them up their fights. The gym gets paid from whatever is running it, and then they pay the gym, and the gym pays them, I
Yeah,
think.
you see that a lot because you'll look at a fight poster, it'll be like John Fairtex. It's like the guy's last name is not Fairtex.
Yes.
That's the
Oh,
gym he
it's
fights
a
out
gym.
of.
So Rick, you're getting into the e-bike life, I see, dude. Gang,
Yeah.
gang
Gang,
Yo.
gang.
Rick is the king
of customization.
customization. Customizes his walkout song, customizes all his fight
Yeah.
logos, his gym logos, and then just took it a step above.
King.
Yeah, that me and
King
Rick
Custom.
collabed on that.
Yeah, I love that shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, you loving the e-bike or what, bro?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's awesome. Like if I would have had this shit when I was 15, 16 years old,
Oh.
like I would have been the man.
I wish.
Yeah, it goes 36 miles an hour right now. So like in neighborhoods, like I was whipping around here down Main Street the other day, like it goes plenty fast enough.
People probably think you're on a regular
Yeah,
motorcycle.
they think it's a dirt bike or a motorcycle.
Well,
They
the-
100% do.
and
the
then they
bike
look at me
looks
and I start
dope.
pedaling.
It looks like a dirt bike-ish
Yeah.
type.
He brought
of,
it up here Friday night, and I rode it around the block, and I went down the road there. I hit the stop sign. There was another car. The car flashed its brights at me when I got to the stop sign to like wave me on because they definitely thought I was on a
Yeah,
motorcycle.
you like, motherfucker, I don't need to stop for this thing, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I also didn't want to get run over.
That's true. Come back with just a tire. You're like, yo, Rick, my bad.
How is the how is the light on it? Is it bright?
It's bright enough. Like it's bright enough for what it is now. Like
Yeah.
if I'm going 36 miles an hour, like in pitch black dark, it's definitely bright enough. But
Yeah.
when I like next Saturday, I'm gonna bring it to Jersey when it goes faster. I'm probably gonna get like a bigger light.
Wait,
I
you getting it modded out there?
Yeah, I didn't tell you that already.
No, well, you told me you were getting
Oh,
modded.
well, yeah, I'll tell this. Yeah, for an extra like bike costs like $2,000, plus tax like $2,200, and then for another like $1,200, you can get a bigger battery and a bigger motor on it. So now next Saturday, this guy's gonna install it for me, and it'll be able to go over 60 miles an hour.
Damn.
And the range will be like
Damn.
50 miles. So it's like I
Dude,
could.
that's fucking insane.
I could
Insane.
easily
60
drive
on that
to-
bike. I know you got the series helmet, but that thing's
Yeah.
going to be. It's a heavy duty bike, and are you gonna have to get bigger tires if you're going that fast?
Yeah, I already ordered like dirt bike tires pretty much.
And then you could probably sell like the motor and battery that you have now, like, or maybe just get another bike and throw that on there. I'm sure you can get that going.
I'm probably gonna end up selling the motor, but the battery I'm gonna keep. So
you have a backup.
I don't know if it'll work like that, but all like the headlights, and I want to put like turn signals on and shit like that. I'll use the or even if I put a speaker on it, whatever I want. I'll use that.
Are you getting rid of the taco, bro? Is this gonna be your daily driver? No, I'm never getting rid of the taco.
1 year I put 20,000 miles on that truck, so this is definitely gonna help me
save you big time.
Yeah,
I wish you guys were here Friday night when he came here with this thing. He looked like a proud dad.
Yeah.
I felt like
dude, I was
waited
drooling.
6 months.
I was drooling
that
over
thing,
the bike.
It looks mean.
We took it for a ride that night, dude. It boogies, bro.
Where in Jersey are you getting it done? Like at a place is doing it, or
I think it's like just this guy has a garage and a shop.
I wonder if he
He's got,
can
like,
mod the
online
rad
store.
I was just gonna ask, is
Probably.
it he just does like your type of bike, or he does all electric?
He'll do all electric ones, I'm sure. Like if I could give you the website, it's like E Street Bikes, something like that. So you could, I guarantee that if you like whatever the motor's attached to your back wheel, right?
Back wheel,
and you have a big cat, right?
Yeah.
So you could probably do the same thing. Like
Right.
it's just a bigger motor and a bigger battery. But, and it's basically an electric motorcycle. I don't need license. I don't need insurance. I don't need to pay for gas. All I need is a regular outlet and time to charge.
Rick's on like fucking Facebook group pages for the bike. He's like found like forums and shit.
Dude, he's King Custom over here, bro.
Rick is one of the most thorough people I've ever met.
I
was about to buy the Rad Runner like that you have. And I looked at the big cat and I was doing like my research on it, and then I bought the Rad Runner Plus. I like pressed like complete order, do it now. It's like, all right, thank you for your order. As soon as I open Instagram, I start getting ads for like these other fucking sicker electric bikes like Super 73 and this one's everywhere. So what the fuck? Like
I heard Super 73 is not that great.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like a dirt bike, but mine, now that I've custom it looks better. So it's like,
no, your bike looks official, dude. I love the way it looks. D-Rock and I were talking about the bag you put on there. It looks like a
gas tank.
Looks like a gas tank.
Motorcycle.
Yeah. Yo, and when we took the bike for a spin, I think I topped off at like 31, 32. The bike feels sturdy, bro.
Does it?
Yeah, like you don't
that's
feel
another
like
big reason I got it, because it's heavier.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're like riding some like dinky bullshit. It's like seriously like no wobble. You feel like, all right, shit, this bike can handle the speed. Yeah,
I think the Rad Power bikes and like Big Cat, the motors are probably like hard ABS plastic, but it's probably like plastic parts in the motor. Like this one has all metal gears.
Oh really?
The brakes are like thick. Like everything about this bike was thicker and like more heavy duty than the rest, and that's what I wanted. I was like, I want something that's gonna be fucking sturdy, especially if I start going 60 miles an hour on this thing. Like you need weight on it, otherwise it's gonna just do a wheelie.
Right.
You're probably gonna do a wheelie anyway.
No, yeah, you're definitely gonna be able to wheelie that thing.
I mean, I'm only gonna be going fast. Like, I'm happy that I'm not getting a motorcycle, because I know I would push it. I know I would go like 80 or 100 miles an hour on the expressway. And it's
and then 120, and then 130.
Yeah, it's the opportunity to do something stupid. So like this is basically giving me like a motorcycle. What, I don't need a license or all that shit. Exactly, it's got like a governor on it. Like I should not be going over 60 miles an hour on a motorcycle. Like I care about my body too much. If I get hurt, I'm fucked.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just alternate mode of transportation, and it's honestly a lot of fun. Like last couple of days, I've been riding to and from the gym last couple of days, and on my way home, I'll just take it around the block. Like I still live in the same area that I grew up with, or not grew up with, but like I used to literally ride my bike up and down. These same exact streets, and it's like now I could get so far I don't even have to break a sweat. I don't have to pedal if I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the best thing about like the e-bikes. It's like you're owning a motorcycle without the responsibility of the motorcycle.
Right, and you have to pay, like you said, for insurance, for fucking gas, for nothing.
Fuck the DMV. I don't ever want to go back to that place. So
you are going to upgrade to signals?
Yeah, I'll probably throw, because I stay on the shoulder most of the time, but especially if it's like a residential neighborhood, I beat everybody. Like I go faster, I don't have to stop it. I'm obviously not blowing through stop signs, but if I see it's wide open and clear and no one's there, I'm on a bicycle. I have pedals. Like if you're on a BMX bike or mountain bike, you don't have to stop.
Yeah, no, that's like the best thing.
Actually, I asked my friend who's a cop last night. You do like bicycle riders technically are supposed to obey like traffic signals, like red lights and shit. But you see me with pedaling. Like every time I've seen a cop as I'm going, I just look at them and start pedaling nice and slow. And, like they just get confused. Like,
well, I think that's like the catch though. If like your bike has active pedals at work, then like you don't have to register it or put signals on it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And then like there's definitely a speed limit, Cat. Like I don't think you're legally allowed to go
Over 20.
Yeah.
To be
Well,
honest.
how's it
usually
work with
20, I think
mopeds? Because
29.
mopeds have
Mopeds have to be registered, insured.
yeah, but those have pedals.
No.
Yeah, there's mopeds.
Oh,
with
Some
pedals.
of them, some
Yeah.
of them do.
Yeah, you're right.
I think
I think because they might go over 20 though.
is it 20? I thought it was like 28 or 29, but yeah, something like that.
Well,
Like
let's
that's
meet in the middle. We'll do
yeah.
like 24.
yeah, that's like technically the legal limit. So it's like if the guy wants to be a dick, yeah, maybe get me in trouble, but I'm gonna explain the situation to him. I'm gonna look at him. I'll tell my trainer, like, hey, come to my gym, work out. Like, you have like, if I'm riding around the streets like a fucking asshole and like swerving in and out of traffic, then yeah, I deserve to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm just gonna enjoy the weather and have fun.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
Is
dude.
that seat uncomfortable?
Yeah, the seat kind of
It
sucks,
is,
but
right?
I literally I just ordered last night a like a custom seat from this other guy, so obviously custom. Yeah.
Dude, Rick's
But-
customized that bike down to every last part. Like already painted
It's gonna be
it.
like a $5,000
Yeah,
bike.
It's so
when he's
sick
done.
though.
Right, putting time into it. It's like it's an investment, honestly.
Yeah,
It
no,
is.
definitely.
It's a toy, but it's an investment.
Yeah.
He comes up here Friday night and he's got the bike out front, and Laura's like, Rick, we got to get a picture because Rick had the Island Kava shirt on. And she's like, stand in front of the bike. I want to take a picture of you and like behind the bike in front of the store. I'm like, yo, Rick, flex. And he's like, I feel like I flex in all my pictures.
I don't want to come off like a douche, but
Just be who you
it's
are,
funny.
Rick.
It works
Oh yeah,
out.
fuck
Yeah,
them. Yo, fuck them.
Guy looks
Yeah.
like fucking G.I. Joe.
Basically,
It's awesome.
I'm happy I couldn't see the screen from the cage this time because I would got distracted. I remember that the last time I fought this kid actually was at the space, and you called me out on it in between rounds. He's like, hey, he's fucking checking himself out on the big screen. I'm like, yeah,
That's
fuck
fucking
yeah.
awesome.
I
dude.
wasn't calling it out like, look at this asshole. I was like,
No, he
fucking
was just
Rick's in
laughing,
the
yeah.
zone, man. Like, I said it. You walked out, and I'm like, Rick Schaefer built like fucking G.I. Joe, like Captain America, Shred City, and like in between rounds, you were just hype in the zone, like fucking, and you looked up and saw yourself, and you're like,
He's doing the
like-
he's doing the fucking the peck
Yeah.
bounce and
yeah.
shit.
It was awesome. I thought it was great.
That is awesome, dude.
Funny.
All right, boys. should we-
Wait, let's try to get the question of the day. Mel.
You have a question?
You got to come over here, though.
Yeah, get over here.
Bring your ass.
We need you. I haven't done a little question of the day in a while, so
It's been a little bit, yeah.
we'll end off with a question of the day.
Take that mic.
Would you rather your wife be an ex-porn star or your sister be a current porn star?
Ooh.
Have to watch both of them.
Oh.
Whatever your choice is.
Damn. Mel hit us hard
Oh.
today. Mel.
We know what everybody in the
Damn.
South is going to say.
Holy shit. All right, so would you rather your wife be an ex-porn star?
Well, your
would you-
wife and your sister are the same thing, so.
Would you rather your wife be an ex-porn star or your sister be a current porn star?
So we make Rick answer first since he's our guest.
And you have to watch
Both.
the video.
I'm not gonna watch either one, but if I had to choose one, or
You have
Nah,
to. It's
yeah.
the premise of the question.
all right, well, I would rather like. I'm not gonna marry an ex-porn star. Let's just put it that way. So it's like a defaulted answer question. Like I guess it's gonna have to be my sister. Cause
But what if you were already married and then you found out?
Ooh. What was if you really loved her and you were about to marry her?
And then you just found out.
Yeah, it deals off.
Yeah,
Divor-
you married
yeah, it
already and
deals
then you
off.
find out.
Yeah, that what's something that you're.
Then you
lying
get a
and
divorce.
hiding
There's
from.
plenty of
but she
attorneys
was
for
an
that.
but she's an ex-porn star. She's not active.
I don't
You
know.
can't get unfucked all those thousands of times. It's like a used car with miles. Shit doesn't.
You can't rewind.
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
take the
Doesn't
miles
go away.
off.
Nothing wrong with it, but I mean, porn star level has got to be like bodies.
I know,
Yeah,
and you
beat
do,
up.
and you know, like whatever, like someone's gonna hear about it. Like Nick's gonna see it, and he's like, "Yo, so and so, like, you know,
You'd have to know
Terrence's
about
wife
that
used to
from
be
the
a porn star,"
start, like-
and everyone's gonna like they'll probably all get together and have like a fucking viewing party. They'll put it on.
Yeah.
you get to like a party, it's just like playing on the fucking TV.
Guaranteed.
Like, yo, what
Oh
should we
my
throw on?
God.
Like, that's
100%.
brutal.
I mean, the same thing's gonna happen if it's your sister.
I know, but the sister's
is true.
different. It's not your wife. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the girl that
like
you
what she
love,
does on
like-
her own time. Like,
Yeah, so
So you're going with sister.
I would have to, yeah, because and like you said, even if we were about to get married or we were married, then I find out, well, that's a lie. Like you could, if you knew that straight off the bat and like you worked through it the whole time, okay, that's one thing, but like it's not for me. But I don't know, yeah, definitely sister. 'Cause
I'm doing sister.
Sister?
Yeah. I don't want that box beat up, dude. So I'm definitely doing sister. and I guess I'll have to watch it.
I'm gonna go with the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You know the things she could teach you.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm going with the wife anyway because that shit doesn't bother me either way.
Yeah, Luigi's bringing the wife out. He's like, "You're not an ex-porn star. You're
He's
getting back in the business for making a video right now."
He's handing
so
out
I'm
her
not marrying
DVDs and shit. He's like, "Yo, here's my wife's work. Yo, check this out."
Yeah,
He's
you
handing
know how much
them out.
money we could, my OnlyFans would blow up with that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the wife.
You going with wife?
Yeah, I got to go sister on that one.
Yeah.
That's a tough pill to swallow. I can deal with my sister being a whore. That's fine.
X.
Yeah, I like whatever, man. I think I'd rather deal with having to watch that and be like, oh god, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, but
than watch the woman I love.
Yeah. Who you gonna be with the rest of your
that's like-
life?
What if she only did lesbian?
Oh, that's
Oh,
different.
that's different.
That's lit.
Yeah, but them being a porn star doesn't make them a whore.
No, it just
It
means
just,
that they're
that's
beat
just
up.
their job. You think about it.
And then you see a
How many
video of
times-
her with like 10 guys.
You're with
glory
the
hole in
girl.
it.
If you're with the girl, you're fucking her 3 times a day for like whatever years. Same thing as her. Like it
No,
doesn't.
it's not because it's you.
Getting covered in 10 different guys.
I'm just saying
Huge.
she's still having sex 3 times a day for years.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
with,
You.
with the same guy.
It's with
If
you.
You're
It's
still
not
a
with-
whore, like you're a professional whore. It's not like you're a whore for no reason. At least she's getting paid for it, but you are a whore.
I don't know. This shit doesn't bother me.
I'm not saying like, well, that's
I guess I look at it differently.
Yeah.
you still have to just admit that she's a whore. It's a. I mean,
No,
we're
but
not
it doesn't
talking about
make her a
specific
whore.
person.
She's just that's her profession.
Her profession is being a whore.
Yeah, and Rick's not a fighter. He just
I just fight people for a living. Like I'm not fighting, but I just fight people for a living.
I don't know.
I'm not like you can look at it in a good light, but just or maybe put a nicer word on it instead. But it's like I feel like it would be the same thing.
It's like a woman going and selling her body for sex. Is she not an escort?
No, well, that's a whore, but like, like you're going like,
Wait.
The camera, the fact that there's just a camera on it changes it completely.
Yeah,
like you're a
like-
whore if there's no,
No, the
camera.
camera
if you're
just makes it
recording.
not illegal.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
true.
That's all it is.
yeah, well,
That's
there's
pretty
a
wi-
difference.
that's pretty
There's a
wild,
line.
I'm pretty sure they legalized it in New York now, like New York City.
They did.
Decriminalized it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They decriminalized it.
But I mean, listen. At the end of the day, most people, with the exception of Luigi and other people, like when it's your girlfriend. There's a certain level of pride and like attachment that comes with
Yeah.
that, where you don't want to think about those things or know those things. Nobody here. Everybody knows everybody has a past, but nobody wants to think about like your girl with some
Yeah.
other dude. It's
There's,
just like
there's way more like embarrassment and shame involved when it's the person that you have the choice to be with or not be with, and you're continuing to be with.
Yeah.
you have.
And
to
then
live
if
with that.
and then if
it's
you
your
have
sister,
to
there's nothing you
watch,
can do about it.
and then if you have to watch the porn,
you just have to watch it once.
yeah, that's all. That
Yeah,
should
but
that should
at-
be replaying in your mind. For
At the end of the day, though, it's just sex. Like they love
decades.
you. They just like. How many times have you looked at another girl and you're like, oh, I want to fuck her? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you've said this before. You've said this before, and I know where you're coming from with this conversation, but like, I don't know though. I mean, like, if the girl is a porn star and she's good at her job, she's probably had a lot of dudes through her, and I think it would change the whole dynamic of the relationship.
You can look at any girl like if she's been with a bunch of dudes. Like
yeah, that's still also still not comfortable. Like nobody wants that. Nobody likes that.
Yeah, if you knew you were like 50 on her list,
I mean, how you got to look at all the girls you slept with too. You know what I mean?
I'm not necessarily saying that makes someone a bad person or not, but as far as like this kind of we're fading into the questions like, oh, why are guys allowed to sleep with a bunch of girls and not be judged, but then girls are not? Like, guys are still judged the same way. Like, girls know that if a guy just like fucks anything with 2 legs and a fucking face, like they don't like that. But yeah,
They're gonna look at the guy as like, I don't know if this guy's trustworthy. He can't settle down with one girl. Like it's not.
Yeah, so
it
it doesn't
takes
make it
away
okay.
from the attractiveness of them as a boyfriend or spouse or whatever. You want
Yeah.
somebody that's not like that.
You're supposed to feel lucky about what you have. Like, how
Yeah.
can you feel lucky about
There's
having something
you
everyone
have to
else
have
is gonna
value behind things, right? So like, why is there value behind gold and diamonds, right? Because they're supposed to be rare, right? You don't want things that are easily accessible to everybody.
Exactly. So hold on, I don't mean to cut you off, but right off of that statement is my analogy. Like, if you have a lock that can get opened up by any key, that's a pretty shitty lock, right? If you get a key that can open up any lock, that's a pretty good key, right? What gets inserted, like look at the male and female situation there. If a lock can get penetrated by anything, like any key works, what the fuck is the point of having a lock? Like it's
what
a
makes
pretty useless lock.
It's the same thing, right? If you want to have a lock or a key, right? A lock that is selective, right? It could let in a lot of the other keys, but it chooses not to. Or you have a key that could go into all these other locks, but it chooses not to because it sees the value. It doesn't just do it because it's accessible.
Yeah, it's not like there isn't a double standard. Just the general consensus is they're a double standard, but at the end of the day, it's a personal choice. Like if a girl knows that you just get around, you fucked like a whole bunch of her friends, there's a good chance she doesn't want to talk to you or at least take you seriously.
But also, you can look at that. You can look at that biologically and physiologically, right? There's a reason why. What are you laughing at?
It's just
I'm still confused on who's the lock and who's the key, though.
I think the males are the lock. I think guys are the lock.
This conversation is getting very confusing.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think the guys are the lock. All right.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean,
the guy's the key.
Yes.
But the key could also be a finger. You ever get a finger in your ass?
Oh my god.
We can't, like,
We're getting into the weeds.
All right, let's wrap this up,
Getting into
guys.
the weeds.
Yo, Rick, thanks for coming out.
Wait. Terrence and Remy didn't answer.
Remy
Yeah.
answered.
Oh, Terrence.
I said sister. I was with Rick right away. I
Oh.
jumped in like right after that. Yeah, I said
Sister.
I don't care. She could do whatever she wants.
Si-
It's my wife.
Rick, you want to put any plugs in your gym, your Instagram?
Plug yourself.
Yeah, so
Plug yourself with that key.
No Limits Kickboxing. If you want to learn how to really fight or just get in shape, have a good time, and I mean, even if you just want to do kickboxing for a workout, like if you're going to do it for 6 months, you're going to do it for a year, like you're going to make a commitment doing it for an extended period of time, like you should want to be good at it. Obviously, it's a business. Money is good, but we're not about taking people's money. We want to teach you the right way, show you how to do things correctly, and like you said, even if you're just working out, you're going to be learning along the way.
And it's this fucking sick gym.
Yeah, it's like I can personally say it's probably like, I mean, obviously a little biased, but it's one of the nicest gyms like out here. Like still finishing up last couple of things. The locker rooms should be done by the end of this month. By the end of September. So we'll be able to shower, do all that stuff. But it's a great place. Great energy. We got everything all under one roof finally. So
Top of the line equipment.
You you have an Instagram for the gym yourself? You want to throw that out there?
Yeah, Instagram. The handle, if you just type in No Limits Kickboxing and MMA, it'll probably pop up within No Limits Kickboxing. Mine is Rick Schaefer. I got a ton of sponsors. It'll take forever for me to list them off, but Healthy Meals Direct is the biggest one. They've been sponsoring me for about like 6 years. Biggest and best meal prep company on the island. Jitsandtitspodcast, Island Kava, great times, great people.
Yeah, Rick, thanks for waking up today and fucking chilling with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Anytime.
We've been chipping away at you, trying to get you here. So we appreciate you waking up today during this hurricane.
Sundays are usually either my day to sleep in or I'm working at the beach. So this is great timing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Rick, for letting me be part of the gym. It's I've always wanted to coach a program like that, and you bringing me on board was awesome. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Anytime. Thank you for coming. Wouldn't have anybody else.
Yeah, and thank you for the last couple open mats.
I'm the key that you picked, Rick.
Yo, big shout out to Lalo.
You're the lock. You helped unlock it.
Big shout out to Lalo. Check them out. You guys want Kama the can?
Lalo.
You want to try Kava?
I think we might start carrying Lalos at the gym pretty soon, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was in talks with Eric about that.
Another shout out to Total Motion 360
Yep.
and Island Kava. You guys are out in Patchogue. You want to check out some relaxing teas? Come check them out.
Relaxing elixirs.
Yeah. And check us out on Instagram, Pandora, Spotify.
And J&T Digital
Coming out
soon.
Yep.
So if you are an athlete looking to help get yourself out there, like with sponsorships and stuff like that, you want some highlight reels made,
Little promo.
promos, hit us up.
Yep.
We're gonna help you guys, get yourself out there.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a hip escape tutorial for all you guys looking to perfect your shrimp game.
Shit.
Stay tuned.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Peace.